TripAdvisor.
This is Kung Fu. You're not training for the Olympics. You're training for the street. It's about who lives and who dies.
Birth of the Dragon, rated PG-13, starts Friday, August 25th.
Facing death, I had only one thought.
I gotta make all natural chicken sandwiches!
That's just a marketing point, right?
No, I'm talking no antibiotic ever!
What a world!
The charbroiled chicken sandwiches, no antibiotics ever. Carl's Jr. and Hardee's.
Release the Black Raven!
This isn't real.
Then send a group text!
Managing an unruly team? Bad fantasy. Managing your league from anywhere? Good fantasy. Start your league at espn.com/goodfantasy.
The music event of summer.
We should get this party started!
Sounds pretty good to me.
Incredible performances and must-see collaborations.
Don't you love country music?
CMA Fest, Wednesday, 8/7 Central on ABC.
Baseball Tonight, Sunday Night Countdown, is presented by Chevrolet, the most awarded car company 3 years in a row. And in part by E-Trade, the original place to invest online. And Dick's Sporting Goods. Every season starts at Dick's.
Back at Yankee Stadium, they just introduced Aaron Judge. The place went crazy. Let's take a look at this week's Unlimited Baseball Break. It's brought to you by T-Mobile.
Did he get it? Did he get it? Yes, he got it! Made by the amazing Billy Hamilton.
Bryce Harper, career homer number 150. Trout, career hit number 1,000. There's a critter on the field. This is a cute one. Ow! Ow! Stop it!
I saw the cat and I knew something special was about to happen.
Molina! The rally kick! Salamango, no you didn't!
That one is lifted high and deep.
And off the foul pole. Big fly for Mike Trout. He's done it again on his birthday.
Have a day, Andrew Benintendi.
The Dodgers win number 80 of the season.
42! Giancarlo Stanton has tied the Marlins' single-season home run record.
Giants and the Nationals are playing two. Giants won the first game. Hard to sweep a doubleheader when Max Scherzer is pitching. These highlights just in.
Right, with 3 wipeout pitches, I don't know how anyone ever gets a hit off of him. I give the Giants credit for having 1 hit right now.
3 innings and 4 Ks. As we get set for our game tonight, Chris Sale on the mound. We want to take a look at his numbers with StatCast. They're powered by AWS. And you're the only guy that's seen him, so tell us what it's like and what your approach was against him. As you see, his opponent's batting average against the fastball, it's like 193.
The crazy thing is about Chris Sale is that his fastball, it's tough to hit, but it might be the best pitch to try to hit off him because his slider is just so nasty. You have to be aggressive against him. If you get a fastball early in the count, in the middle of the zone, you have to take a healthy cut at it because you don't want to get down in the count against him.
He's good for the rivalry, isn't he?
Right, he's great. 1.17 ERA lifetime against the Yankees. Pretty good.
All right, with Tim Kirsch and Mark Teixeira, our whole crew, I'm Carl Ravitch. Enjoy the game, everybody. Here's Dan.
All right, Carl, thank you. Welcome to Sunday Night Baseball on ESPN, presented, as always, by Taco Bell. Yankee Stadium here in the Bronx. Aaron Judge and the second-place New York Yankees. They lead the wild card spot as the Yankees try to take a series. They've split the first 2 from the first-place Boston Red Sox. First time in 6 years these two teams have been 1-2 in the division this late in the year. And yes, Chris Sale is on the mound tonight. Friday night, it was 3-0 Red Sox. Aaron Hicks with a 2-run homer to make it a 1-run game. Didi Gregorius with a base hit to tie it. Todd Frazier with a base hit to give the Yankees a 4-3 lead. It would be 5-3 going to the bottom of the 9th. Chapman would walk the bases loaded. Sackfly scored 1, but that double play, the out at third, was huge, and the Yankees hang on to win. They didn't win yesterday, though. Andrew Benintendi with not 1, but 2 3-run homers in the game off Luis Severino. And the Red Sox win 10-5 and cruise to their 9th victory in their last 10 games. big game for both teams. Yankees will be either 3.5 back or 5.5 back at the end of play tonight. And look at the wild card race. The Yankees 2 up on the Angels and 7 other teams within 4 of the Angels for the second wild card spot. So there's a lot going on and a lot to talk about tonight, and let's begin with Chris Sale. Right there with Clayton Kershaw. Max Scherzer is one of the very best in the game.
Guys, he's been everything the Red Sox could have hoped for when they traded for him in the offseason. He has absolutely delivered the goods, and while his first 5 years as a starter in this league, he's been one of the game's best pitchers and a Cy Young candidate. This year is his best season to date, and as you can see by the numbers, he is dominating in every category and has been the best pitcher in the American League this year. And after the Red Sox bounced back with a big victory yesterday after a tough loss on Friday, they are so excited to be able to hand the ball to their ace with a chance to go up 5.5 games here in mid-August.
And one of the guys that he will try to take care of tonight is Aaron Judge, who was as big a story in the first half of the season as there was anywhere in the major leagues, but it's been a much different story since the All-Star break.
Well, Dan, he's somewhere between the superhuman that we saw in that first half and the guy who struggled when he first got called up in the back half of last season. So you think about what he's been doing. Pitchers are adjusting, and that's the beauty of the game. And one of the areas that they've honed in on as a weakness has been fastballs in the upper half of the zone. As you see the numbers between the first half and the second half, especially on that particular pitch, the fastball up in the zone, he was crushing it when he did hit it, and when there was a lot of times he wouldn't chase it and not swing at it. Now he is chasing it, and when he does swing at it, he's not making a lot of contact with that .083 you see since the All-Star break. This is a guy, he's a great hitter. I have no doubt that he will adjust back and get out of the spunk that he's in right now.
Well, it's going to be a tough task for him and the Yankees tonight against Chris Sale. As we mentioned, it's been a while since there was this much on the line this late in the year between these two teams. For more on that, here's Buster Olney.
Yeah, Dan, these arch rivals are at a tipping point in the American League East. If the Yankees win tonight, if they win this series, they will have met the stated goal of Yankees manager Joe Girardi to stay close to the Red Sox as they weather this recent slump. If the Red Sox win tonight, if they win this series, they'll toss another layer of dirt on the Yankees' hopes, and it just so happens that the guy throwing for the Red Sox tonight has been the best pitcher in the American League in 2017. Dan?
No doubt about that, Buster. They meet again next weekend. They meet again Labor Day weekend. Sale is lined up to pitch in all 3 series. It has turned into a bit of tug of war. Who will get the upper hand here tonight? Red Sox and Yankees coming up.
Jenny is breaking up with Jason. It's pretty uncomfortable. Jason's filling the void with seasoned beef, hearty potatoes, and warm nacho cheese sauce, bringing some comfort to a very uncomfortable situation.
You are making this uncomfortable, Todd.
How's that feel, Jenny?
Not good.
Not good.
Taste the comfort with the new $1 Beefy Potato Rito, only at Taco Bell.
Progress is seizing the moment. Your summer moment awaits you now that the Summer of Audi sales event is here. Audi will cover your first month's lease payment on select models during the Summer of Audi sales event.
Maria is an incredible mom. When it comes to helping her daughter, shopping for groceries, unclogging the sink, setting up dentist appointments, and planning birthday parties, nobody does it better. She's also in a rock band. Look at her shred. But when it comes to mortgages, she's less confident. Fortunately for Maria, there's Rocket Mortgage by Quicken Loans. It's simple, so she can understand the details and be sure she's getting the right mortgage. Apply simply, understand fully, mortgage confidently.
Inconsciente, a été transportée à l'hôpital.
Aí, Pedro, preciso de você na caixa, Davi, ajuda ele.
对，你先把这弄上，对。
Attention all users of the dangerous blood thinners Xarelto or Pradaxa. You may have been exposed to the serious risks caused by these medications. Call Guardian Legal Network now. There are time deadlines to file your claim. If we don't win, you pay nothing. Attention all users of the dangerous blood thinners Xarelto or Pradaxa. If you or someone you love are one of the thousands of blood thinner users that may have been exposed to the serious risks caused by these medications, including internal bleeding, you need to call Guardian Legal Network now. There are time deadlines to file your claim, so don't wait. If we don't win, you pay nothing, so call to speak to your experienced attorney now.
Call 800-593-5396.
Sunday Night Baseball on ESPN is presented by Taco Bell's new $1 beefy potato-rito. And in part by engines and generators from Kohler, in power since 1920. Nice night here in New York. Rubber match of a 3-game series between the Boston Red Sox and New York Yankees. The Yankees leading the season series 7-4. The Yankees winning on Friday night. The Red Sox bouncing back with a 10-5 win yesterday afternoon. Time now to check out the starting lineup for the visitors from Boston. It's presented by Taco Bell.
Well, Eduardo Nunez at the top. He's played a little bit of everywhere, and he has been an absolute spark since coming over from the Giants, hitting .390 with 4 homers in 13 games with the Red Sox. And really key with Dustin Pedroia on the disabled list. And then Andrew Benintendi sits a couple of days off when he was struggling at the end of July. He has been on fire in the month of August. 2 huge home runs yesterday against the Yankees ace and hit right there in that 3-hole, ready to rock today.
Rookie left-hander Jordan Montgomery on the mound for the Yankees tonight. He was actually sent down to the minors last week after the acquisitions the Yankees made at the trade deadline. They wanted to kind of keep track of his innings to a certain extent, but then CC Sabathia experienced some knee pain in his start Tuesday in Toronto. He went on the DL, and Montgomery came right back to the big leagues. Yesterday, he was down the right field line during batting practice as the Red Sox were hitting. He was signing autographs with his back to the field, and Red Sox catcher Sandy Leon sliced one down the line and went over the screen and just hit Montgomery right in the right ear. He went through the concussion protocol. Everything checked out okay, and he's on the mound tonight.
Oh, and thank goodness. I was there actually live when it happened, and it looked a lot worse than it was. I didn't think he was going to get the start tonight, and I'm glad that it was okay. Just a cut on his ear, as you mentioned.
Just a freak play. Unfortunately not shaken up badly at all. Joe Girardi's Yankees, they lead the wild card race, as we mentioned. Yankees have only been in the postseason once in the last 4 years. That was as a wild card, and they lost the wild card game. But they got a good shot, very deep bullpen, made some nice acquisitions at the end of July. And the Red Sox, who in recent years have had a habit of finishing either first or last with nothing in between, they are in first right now, leading the American League East by 4.5. Over the Yankees. John Farrell's team looking to make it 5.5 if they can win tonight. And again, 2 more series still to come at Fenway next week, and then back here in the Bronx Labor Day weekend. They don't play each other over the last 3.5-4 weeks of the regular season. Ready to go with Laz Diaz calling the balls and strikes. And we are underway with a pitch outside, ball 1 to Eduardo Nunez. What a pickup he has been. Acquired from the Giants, can play a number of different positions, has played a lot of second base for the Red Sox because Dustin Pedroia was on and recently went back on the DL. But Nunez is at third tonight with Brock Holt at second. Rafael Devers out of the lineup. A lot of flexibility and versatility for John Farrell. And Nunez lines a ball hard, deep left center field. Hicks back, and he's got it! A sprawling catch on the track in left center field.
Wow.
Game on.
Besides the end where he dives, watch the route that he takes. He recognizes that he needs to make more of a left turn as he takes a more direct route and is able to make this catch. It looks clearly like it's going to be a double off the wall. Leaps. He has been everything for this team when you think about the offense he's provided since coming off the DL, but the defense, his arm, and right there, a great catch to get the lead off for the Red Sox.
And a salute from his young pitcher. What a way to get the ball game started. It's got everybody into it. There is definitely more of a buzz here at Yankee Stadium than in our recent trips here over the last few years. This place is full.
And loud.
Yeah,
and we've seen a lot of people here, but quiet. This whole weekend, it's been sold out.
This weekend, there's been that buzz back, and with the young nucleus of stars on both sides, this could be the norm for the next several seasons.
Mookie Betts the batter, and he sends a fly ball to right field, playable for Judge.
Yeah, off the bat, this ball I thought was destined for the gap, but a great jump and a great change of direction by Hicks, and Nunez, certain he had a triple off the bat, probably taken away right out the gate. Now we can laugh about it a little bit.
How about his former teammate from the Twins picking on him?
That's right.
Aaron Hicks, who threw him out at third base in a key moment on Friday, then that play.
So 2 down in the inning, and now a strike taken by Andrew Benintendi, the young left fielder for the Red Sox. Had himself quite a day yesterday, a pair of 3-run homers. He's now hitting .484, 15 for 31 in the month of August, and that's directly on the heels of John Farrell giving him a couple of days off. There was also a rainout, so Benintendi actually sat for 3 days. And just kind of get recalibrated, bit of a rest, clear your head, and Benintendi's come back looking terrific.
Well, yeah, when you're that young, it's not even so much that your legs need it, your body needs it. You hear a lot with the veterans. It's the brain, it's the head, it's the mental awareness that you have and how hard you are on yourself, and that's what John Farrell recognized. Gave him a couple days off, and it paid off.
The mental grind of the Major League Baseball season is just as much as the physical. And when you're going through it for the first time at this kind of a level, I think them recognizing that obviously played big dividends.
2-2. Breaking ball line to center field. Hicks again. 3 up, 3 down they go, although it didn't look like it would start that way. Nunez a drive, Hicks a dive, and the Yankees are coming up.
Infinity, empower the drive.
This was gonna be our new home.
We don't know what's out there.
What's happening?
Please hurry, please help.
You're breaking up.
What were those things?
Creation.
They're everywhere! Hold on!
Alien Covenant on Blu-ray.
As a mother of 3, I've seen the positive impact sports have on kids. At Dick's Sporting Goods, we believe everyone should have the chance to play. And if cost ever gets in the way, that goes against everything we believe. So we're stocking new gear at lower prices and introducing the best price guarantee. If you find a lower price from a competitor, we'll match it. Because it's not enough to offer you the best gear. We need to offer it at the best price.
The moment that I met you, I thought you were fine, so fine.
Blue Moon is brewed with Valencia orange peel for a taste that shines brighter.
There's no question who the best pitcher in the American League has been this year. First year with the Boston, Chris Sale leading the league in ERA, tied for the league lead in wins, leading the majors in strikeouts, and an opponent's batting average well under 200. As good as he's ever been, and maybe on his way, likely on his way, to his first Cy Young Award. Let's check out the Yankee starting lineup now, brought to you by Taco Bell.
Well, the star defensively so far has been Aaron Hicks with that nice diving catch. He had a great double play Friday night and a huge 2-run home run. But this guy, since coming off the DL, has been so strong for them offensively as well. And you think, too, of all the star power in this lineup, Didi Gregorius has been that constant for this team, leading the team in batting average. Doesn't get a lot of attention, but has been so strong both defensively and offensively.
So the Yankees facing one of the toughest customers in baseball. Sale 88 and 54 in his career. 10 or more strikeouts on 15 different occasions this season, and the highest strikeout to walk ratio in the live ball era. That's 1920 on for any pitcher with a minimum of 1,000 innings pitched. It will not be easy for the Yankees tonight. And in with a 97-mile-an-hour fastball for strike one called to Brett Gardner. Gardner hitting .254, a career high 19 home runs. The Yankees are 16-0 in games in which he homers. Taps one back to the mound, and that's a quick first out for Sale. A big trade in the offseason between the White Sox and the Red Sox, bringing Chris Sale to Boston, and pitching in the fishbowl that is the Boston media market, with the Red Sox meaning so much to New England. That hasn't bothered Sale at all. He has looked strong all through the season. At times in his career, his August and September numbers haven't been as good as the first 4 months, but I mean, he looks great. He's had one blip this year, and that was the one start where Christian Vasquez was behind the plate. Sandy León has caught every other start for Chris Sale. There's a ball popped up by Hicks back of the plate. León back and can't make the play right up against the screen.
Well, he gets there and obviously dealing with the net there, but he gets there in pretty good shape and in pretty good position. You see him peek to find that net, and all of a sudden it drifts on him just a little bit and clanks off his glove. Certainly a play that he probably should have made as he tries to backhand it there.
Now ball hit pretty well to right field, but Betts is there, and Hicks retired 2 down. 2 very quick outs for Sale, and now we'll get our first look at this matchup tonight. Chris Sale facing Aaron Judge. There hasn't been as much for these guys and gals to get excited about in the second half of the year. Judge hitting well under 200 since the All-Star break. Joe Girardi told us before the game he thinks it's part mechanical, part that he's chasing some pitches that he didn't in the first half. First pitch swinging, crushed to left. Foul ball. That got everybody in this ballpark on their feet in an instant.
Just a little bit out in front of this first pitch. I'm not sure if it was a changeup or a slider. Yeah, it's a changeup there, down in the strike zone, and just a little bit off the end, a little out in front, and you see that ball hook about 10 feet foul. But that's the pitch right there that's given him some problems, where he's been chasing a little bit up in the zone. Right there, he's able to lay off it. I agree with Jess, what she said in the open, in that he is going to catch fire again in this second half at some point, and I really believe it's a timing issue. I think when your timing is just off a tick, that's the reason why he's a little bit behind the fastball and chasing breaking balls, because he's not consistently on time. And I think as soon as he finds that, because his approach is much more simple than it was last year, an abbreviated leg kick, and because of who he is, I believe, above the shoulders, meaning I think he's able to deal with these failures in a mature way, I think eventually that timing will click up and we'll see that massive production return at some point in the second half.
Well, and especially his takes. He'll still strike out, but he's got a 21% walk rate, which the MLB average is 9%. So the guy is still seeing the ball well enough to be able to also take pitches he knows that he can't hit and still get his walks.
And Sale walks him. Well, Judge has been working on some things. This is early BP, about 4 hours before game time. Getting a little extra work in.
And just working there, you saw Marcus Timms talking to him about his bat path and trying to keep that bat through the zone, perhaps a little more level. But I think more than that, again, I think it's absolutely a timing issue. When you are consistently on time as a hitter, then all of a sudden your good swing comes out and you're recognizing pitches early when you're supposed to, and that's when you'll swing at good pitches. And he's proven when he does that, damage follows.
No score, bottom of the first, 2 down, runner at first. And the batter is Gary Sanchez, who is DHing tonight. Defense has come under some scrutiny from his manager, Joe Girardi, and at times Sanchez has been the DH recently. Also with Matt Holliday on the DL right now, Joe Girardi is rotating Sanchez and some of his outfielders through the DH spot. A potent bat with 19 home runs on the season. And quickly in the hole, 0-2. Checking with Laz Diaz to see if it would have been a strike had he not swung at it. Sanchez hit a 2-run home run in yesterday's game, and in 18 career games against the Red Sox, he's got 8 home runs and 20 RBIs. Throw down, bit high, and Judge steals second, his 7th stolen base of the season.
And this is part of the athleticism that Aaron Judge brings. We all know how hard he can hit it, how far he can hit it, but the defense and then this. Not only did he get a good jump, but he's got that deceptive speed for his size to be able to get in there for a stolen base.
And a pretty good pitch to throw on there for Sandy León. A fastball up and away. León's done a good job of throwing out runners this year. 36% he's caught stealing into the game tonight.
Runner at second, 2 down. And the 1-2 swung on and missed. Sanchez is gone, and so are the Yankees. We are through 1 and scoreless in the Bronx.
Medical warning for hernia mesh patients. If you or someone you love had hernia surgery between 2010 and 2016, you may be entitled to significant financial compensation.
Call 800-495-1224.
Are you being audited and do you owe the IRS $10,000 or more in back taxes? Is the IRS threatening to take more of your money? Don't fight the IRS alone. The Tax Doctor is here to help you negotiate your tax bill and reduce your stress. If you owe $10,000 or more in back taxes, do not call the IRS alone. Call a Tax Doctor now for a tax emergency analysis.
You know me. I'm the Addiction Network. Over 1.5 million people have called for help. So why haven't you called? What are you waiting for?
I lost everything, and the only way to get my life back was to pick up the phone and call and go to treatment.
Where else is giving up oneself more value than a paycheck? The biggest cheerleaders have no pom-poms, and a community can make a lifelong memory. Where else but Williamsport? The Little League World Series on the networks of ESPN.
With so many projects in the works, it seems like Dwayne Johnson can't possibly take on any more.
Well, that sounds like a challenge. Hey Siri, give me a Lyft ride to LAX.
Mr. Nakamura can discuss your fashion line.
I'm out. Rock. Hey Siri, take a selfie.
Ready, Tim?
Let's do this.
You're across traffic alert.
Was that Mike?
That's blind spot warning.
And that's Harry. The car stopped for me.
Automatic emergency braking.
It's car buying season at Nissan's Bottom Line sales event. Lease the Rogue family, starting at just $159 per month.
Bottom line, they still can't touch you.
I'll take it.
Top of the second at Yankee Stadium. No score between the Red Sox and Yankees. Dan Shulman, Jessica Mendoza, Aaron Boone, and Buster Olney. A couple of lefties on the mound. Fitting, I guess, this is International Left-Handers Day. And we've got Jordan Montgomery and Chris Sale starting in this game tonight. Hanley Ramirez leads off the inning for Boston.
Hey
Ramirez, the first baseman. Hit a home run Friday. Sorry, Aaron got 18 on the season.
What's interesting tonight about both of these left-handed pitchers, and we'll get into it a little more as we go, is how different, but how unique the angle they create. which aids in their ability to pitch well. Montgomery, as a big guy, way over the top, releases it really high, whereas Sale way over on the first base side, kind of that low 3/4 slinging action. Both create some deception for these hitters to deal with.
They're both 6'6". 0-2 breaking ball, check swing on the appeal. He didn't go.
And that's an important pitch right there. That breaking ball down and out of the zone when he's ahead in the count to try and get those chases. And here you see him way over the top. No other pitcher releases the ball from as high a point as Jordan Montgomery. And he really gets good downward action on all his pitches. And when he's down in the zone, commanding the bottom half of the zone, he can be really tough.
Well, yeah, because as a hitter, you're adjusting your eye level from that high up position down, especially when he's getting the knees right around what he's trying to do right now with this breaking ball.
Young man who's acquitted himself well as a rookie. He leads all major league rookies with 111 strikeouts on the season. He is 7-6 with a 4.05 ERA as this game began. 2-2 the count on Hanley Ramirez. Strike 3 call.
You see again that over the top action and just catching the outside corner with that good changeup, a little fade action down the way. Hanley Ramirez quits on it. A big first out for Montgomery to start the second inning here.
Chris Young, the DH. And a breaking ball in for a strike. Young, part-time outfielder, sees some time predominantly against lefties. 247, 7 homers on the season. When we asked Joe Girardi before the game, what's the difference for Montgomery between whether he has a good night or not as good a night, and he said, it's the secondary stuff, the curveball, the slider, the changeup, throwing it for strikes and throwing it to get chases. A roller up the middle, but the shift is on. 2 down. Here's a look at what's coming up on ESPN this week in Major League Baseball. We'll have the Yankees hosting the Mets tomorrow night, and then it's one of these 2 games here, 2 games there. It'll be at Citi Field. We'll have the Yankees and the Mets for you again on Wednesday night. And 1 week from tonight, the Little League Classic, the Cardinals and the Pirates from Williamsport, Pennsylvania. Also the same city, of course, where the Little League World Series will be taking place at that time. And a lot of connections and interaction you'll see between the big leaguers and the little leaguers. And oh, by the way, things are awfully interesting in the National League Central right now between the Cubs, the Cardinals, the Brewers, and the Pirates.
I know all 3 of us are so excited actually to get there. I'm actually going. I'll be heading to Williamsport on Wednesday to do I'll be there for the Little League World Series in entirety. I know you're coming in, Jess, on the weekend, and we'll be doing a Little League game Sunday afternoon, and then going over and doing the big league game at night.
I think that's what I look forward to the most, is having the pro guys at the Little League game and having these little tykes out there, not little tykes, 10, 12-year-olds out at the big league game. That interaction that's going to be happening. You see a young Xander Bogaerts playing for the Aruba South Little League.
Yeah, it's going to be neat. And what's fun is all the food and cotton candy and ices
fried
and popsicles.
Dough. I had for the first time, never had that before.
But to see how excited the big leaguers will be for the Cardinals and the Pirates to be there and be a part of this kind of unique event.
Can't you just see Andrew McCutchen like just diving into that, like owning, just wanting to be like 3rd row up at a Little League game, cheering on these little guys? It's going to be a good day.
Well, we got a guy on the field right now who was not only played in the Little League World Series, but won the Little League World Series. Todd Frazier, back in the day for Toms River, New Jersey, hit a home run and recorded the final out as the pitcher as Toms River won in the championship game. We'll have more with Jess and Todd Frazier a little bit later on, an interview they did earlier today.
Did you see that photo, though? I mean, is that not Todd Frazier just full excitement, yelling, like just pure joy and a love for the game, which he still plays with now? You can still see that open mouth yelling. Yes.
Todd Frazier, that is a charismatic dude right there.
Brock Holt, the batter, the second baseman tonight for the Red Sox. No score, top of the second. And he bounces one into right field for a base hit. First hit of the night for either side. Up to second on the play goes Bogaerts.
You know, for all the trouble the Red Sox had, especially at third base for much of the season, you know, they tried to add some people to that position. As we look at this swing, Brock Holt just gets a fastball a little bit elevated out over the plate and pounds it through that right side. Good job of keeping the bat in the hitting zone a long time, and he drives that pitch through the right side. But now all of a sudden, with the addition of Nunez, who has versatility, with Brock Holt back and his versatility, and Rafael Devers coming up and having success as the primary third baseman for this club, now all of a sudden there's a nice versatility mix with this Red Sox team, and they're able to cover up a little bit with a guy like Dustin Pedroia going down, which would have been a real problem earlier.
And there is some concern about Pedroia. There's no real timetable. The Red Sox have said, John Farrell said before the game, they don't anticipate him needing any sort of a procedure, surgical procedure, but he's got a lot of soreness and inflammation in his knee. He came off the DL, DH'd, only lasted 1 day, went back on the DL. And Pedroia was a little bit cryptic when asked by members of the media, when do you think you'll be back? I'll get back as fast as I can, and I'm dealing with a lot of things. And Pedroia has played through so many injuries over the years and has been the heart and soul of the Red Sox for so many years. And while they do have Nunez and do have Devers and do have Holt, having Pedroia brings back the heartbeat of the team and also gives them even more flexibility to move someone like Nunez around.
Yeah, Dan, I asked Pedroia, have the doctors assured you you will be back before the end of the year? And his answer was they can't look into the future either, which was an interesting response.
1-2 the count on the catcher, Sandy León. Got him. Chased a breaking ball in the dirt. Second strikeout of the night for Montgomery. And the Red Sox will leave a couple of men on. Montgomery off to a sharp start tonight. He'll have to be sharp because Chris Sale is on the mound tonight for the Red Sox.
Clutching hands, reaching out, touching me, touching you, sweet Caroline. Good times never seem so good. So good! So good!
Make your commute a little sweeter in the newly redesigned Hyundai Sonata, our best Sonata ever.
I was made in the shadows of greatness, shaped by the hands of legacy, forged in the fires of racing. I've been challenged, tested, and proven. Whether it's on that track or off, the truth is, what you're made of is what you're made to do.
Liberty Mutual stood with me when I was too busy with the kids to get a repair estimate. I just snapped a photo and got an estimate in 24 hours.
My insurance company definitely doesn't have that.
You can leave worry behind when Liberty stands with you. Liberty Mutual Insurance.
Oh, yeah. This season on baseball, New York City is very excited about their fresh crop. We wanted to take a moment to remind them about how things go in New York. Like, you have to be pushy. You gotta take what you want. Because in New York, you ain't here to sightsee. Welcome to the Bronx, boys.
All rise. It's Judgment Day.
That's this season on baseball.
The month of August has been kind to the Red Sox. They've played 10 games this month and they've won 9 of them. And they're scoring better than 6 runs per game, and they're hitting home runs. Still last in the American League in homers on the season, but they have been hitting the ball with much more authority for much more power in the last 10 games. The only game they've lost in the last 10 was when they blew the lead late to the Yankees on Friday night. So on the strength of winning 9 out of 10, the Red Sox find themselves 4.5 up on the Yankees. at the opening of this game tonight. And they've got their ace on the mound. For Sale to face Todd Frazier. Frazier, one of the Yankees acquisitions near the trade deadline. They picked up 5 guys. Frazier and a couple of relievers. Cantley and Robertson came over from the White Sox. First pitch ground out. Let's take a look now at tonight's confident performance, brought to you by Quicken Loans, and we focus on Sale and the strikeout. He is the major league leader in strikeouts. He's on pace to become the first American League pitcher with better than 300 in 18 years since Pedro Martinez did it. We mentioned earlier 10 or more 15 times, and he's the major league leader not only in strikeouts per 9 innings. You name it, he is doing it. Coming off an outing against Tampa Bay his last time out, 8 innings, 2 hits, 1 walk, 13 punch-outs.
And I think the interesting thing, as we touched on it a little bit, to watch with Sale, though, coming into the night, 161 1/3 innings pitched on the year. And you would figure with roughly 8 or 9 starts to go-ish, his most ever is 226 2/3. And obviously the Red Sox looking like they're well on their way to the playoffs. If he continues at this pace, he's going to blow by that, you know, for the first time. And in his career, he has worn down a little bit down the stretch. So it'll be interesting to see how they manage him. If they've, I know, tried to build in some extra days rest here and there.
Didi Gregorius lifts a fly ball towards the right field corner, and Betts is there, 2 down. So they have had the off days. If there's been an off day, they haven't skipped anybody. They've given them the extra day. But now with these 3 series against the Yankees in 3 weeks, the Red Sox have already lined up Sale to pitch next Saturday, and then again against the Yankees on Labor Day weekend. I got to believe that that is etched in stone. And then after Labor Day weekend, if they've got a comfortable lead atop the division, then maybe they back off a bit. But for the next 3 weeks, I don't think they're changing anything.
No, it's pedal to the metal. It's about winning this division right now.
And his stuff looks as good now as it has all season.
Yes.
And look at just his impatience, how much he wants to throw the ball, and you can see it in his body language every time Headley gets out of the box. Takes his time getting back in, and Sale catches this ball. He is ready to go.
One of the quickest workers in baseball, and he never shakes off Sandy León. He did shake off Vasquez a couple of starts ago. We mentioned he's worked with León every start this year except that one. Goes back to his White Sox days. Mark Burley was on the staff, and Burley impressed upon Sale: work quickly, trust your catcher, just execute the pitch. And Sale has taken it to heart.
León, is that just how much confidence he has in you as a catcher that you're going to call the pitch he wants to throw? And he's like, no, that's how much confidence he has in every single pitch he throws. That it doesn't matter the count, what I throw down, he knows that he can own that pitch and get any hitter out at any point. We talked about Montgomery in the arm slot way above the head, Booney, and Chris Sale couldn't be more different. First, that's that crossfire. See all the momentum going towards the first base dugout, but where he releases it, I mean, this is pretty much a ball in the other batter's box as far as where that slot is, where he's releasing the ball. And it's impressive because you get a lanky guy like him that has so much strength.
Blows a fastball by Chase Headley at 97. Second strikeout of the night, no score at the end of 2. We'll hear from Todd Frazier when we come back.
Oh, yeah. I'm living that yacht life. Top speed, 50 knots, life on the Caribbean seas. It's a champagne and models potpourri on my yacht made of Cuban mahogany. Watch this.
Don't get mad. Get E-Trade and get invested.
Is that Marcy? Why does she look so great?
Oh, I just signed her up for the Fuel Rewards program, and she got instant gold status. Here, check it out.
Oh, wow.
Get rewarded at Shell with instant gold status when you join now at fuelrewards.com/gold or download the app.
Hi, Marcy.
Infinity, empower the drive.
Todd Frazier, the New York Yankees. Earlier today, he spent some time with Jess for our Unlimited Baseball, brought to you by T-Mobile.
Little League World Series is right around the corner. You're 12 years old, 1998, Toms River, New Jersey. You throw the last pitch to win it for your Toms River, New Jersey. What was an experience that stood out the most to you from this?
I think the number one thing were the friendships I made. I mean, we're playing against teams from Saudi Arabia, Japan, and not only those teams, but in the United States too as well. Just everybody was a great competitor. All the kids had fun. The pin trading was another thing. I love pin trading. Ping pong tournaments. I dominated in ping pong.
It's your first time at the stadium, Yankee Stadium. You're on the field with Derek Jeter.
Yeah.
What was that experience?
It was great. It was cool. I mean, look at me. Terrible haircut over there. I didn't even know what to say, man. I said congratulations. I don't even know why I said congratulations. And he's like, man, you having fun? I'm like, yeah. I said, hopefully one day I'll get to do this. And he said, maybe one day you will. And then that was basically it.
The 2005 Cape Cod League, and got some cool photos of you.
Oh, no.
Yeah. But you got some studs around you. You got Andrew Miller, you got Evan Longoria.
Oh, man.
I'm sure
Riz
you guys
too. I love it. They're unbelievable.
You guys were dreaming big, I'm sure, about the big leagues. But what were some of the conversations and moments like back then?
It was funny because Longo was a shortstop, and I actually booted him out of there. He was playing third base, and I was playing shortstop, and we had, oh my God, he plays for the Cubs. He's at Coghlan, Chris Coghlan. He was at second base. So we had a really stacked squad.
You've been a runner-up at the Home Run Derby twice, Minnesota and San Diego, but you won it all.
Yes.
2015 in Cincinnati. Your brother Charlie Strone, your other brother Jeff, was also there.
Yeah.
Obviously, probably one of the greatest Home Run Derby moments that we've had. But what was it like, especially having your brothers there with you?
That meant everything because my family was right, above us too as well. I told them we actually prepared for this. It was funny in the off season. Every couple of days, I'd be like, all right, home run derby time. And we'd actually try and time it a little bit and see what would happen. And we're in a cage, so I'm like, oh, I think I hit 15 out, so we're good. So we were prepared. We were ready to go.
Frank Sinatra. All right, so you got to explain this to me. Not exactly your musical generation, but you're a huge fan. How did that even come about?
It's simple story. My look at him there. I wish I could have got to meet him before he passed away. But my grandmother would always play it in the house. Some kind of music, whether it was Frank Sinatra, Paul Simon, just to name two different people. I love the old school music. It's kind of soothing to me, to be honest with you.
It's pretty cool to hear him telling all those stories. First of all, great guy, great family. Talking to his dad, Charlie, this week, his mom, Joan, his love for his brothers. And, I got two boys, too. You're one of three boys. To hear how much they had to include him in baseball games and just that growing up appreciation. One of the games they would do, you can't play baseball unless Todd can play with you, because his older brother, Jeff, his older brother, Charlie, and how much fun they had growing up.
I love even when he pops off. Yeah, I was killing everyone in ping pong at the Little League World Series. Had to move Longo because I was playing shortstop. It just sounds so good even when he does it.
He does it in as nice a way as it can be done.
He really does. I mean,
with a big old grin on his face.
Yep, he's one of the really interesting, neat characters in our game.
And just exudes the love for the game. It comes out of him. It doesn't matter the score, who he's playing for. Yes, he loves being here in New York, but he did the same in Chicago.
Ball lined to left field, but over to make the catch is Gardner. Two hard hit balls this inning by Bradley and Nunez. Both have found gloves for outs. So with 2 outs and the bases empty, that'll bring up Mookie Betts.
I love it too. Congratulations.
And then he's like, I don't even
Derek
know.
Jeter.
Yeah. He's like, I don't know why I said congrats, but it was the first thing that came out of my mouth.
Can you imagine what that was like? 12 years old, you've just won the Little League World Series. You're from New Jersey. And then you and your team get invited to Yankee Stadium. You take the field. You're the guy who gets to stand beside Jeter because you were the star of your team.
And you say congrats to him.
You know what? I think that's more than most kids would have mustered. Most kids probably just would have stood there and not said a word.
That's right.
There he is as a 12-year-old right after the Little League World Series taking the field. 1 ball, 1 strike to count on Betts. Betts with a fly ball to right field his first time up. Another hard hit ball, but this one at Gregorius. 3 rockets this inning. But they all find gloves. 3 up, 3 down. No score going to the bottom of the third.
Only you can shower. To smell unique. To smell confident. To smell amazing. You got something. Smell like the best you with Axe U Body Wash.
Ready, Tim?
Let's do this.
You're across traffic alert.
Was that Mike?
That's blind spot warning.
And that's Harry. The car stopped for me.
Automatic emergency braking.
It's car buying season at Nissan's Bottom Line sales event. Lease the Rogue family, starting at just $159 per month.
Bottom line, they still can't touch you.
I'll take it.
When the world's always on, sometimes you just need to turn off. Declare peace in a place where Serta's cool to the touch memory foam helps cradle every curve. The all-new Serta iComfort Temp Touch Mattress Collection. Experience it only at Mattress Firm, home of the Love Your Mattress guarantee.
At AutoZone, we know you don't need an expensive new tool. That's why we loan over 100 specialty tools for free.
Bring it back when you're done.
Do other people know about this?
Well, yeah, I mean, maybe.
Let's get you what you need.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Release the Black Raven.
This isn't real.
Then send a group text.
Managing an unruly team? Bad fantasy. Managing your league from anywhere? Good fantasy. Start your league at ESPN.com/goodfantasy.
You're watching Sunday Night Baseball on ESPN, presented by Taco Bell. No score going bottom 3. Moments ago, our Buster Olney visited with Red Sox manager John Farrell.
John, how are you feeling about your at-bats against Jordan Montgomery?
Yeah, we've squared up a number of balls so far in the first 3 innings, although we're right at some people. So we're taking good passes. We've still got to stay the approach.
How would you describe what Chris Sale's done for you this year tonight?
Well, I mean, he's been pretty consistent. Again, it's only 2 innings so far, but he's been such a leader of this team, leader of our pitching staff for sure. The way he's pitched, the way we've leaned on him, he's been outstanding since he's come over here.
John, thanks.
He has been outstanding, to say the least. Tonight, 2 innings, no hits, 1 walk, 2 strikeouts, a major league leading 231 strikeouts on the season. And again, potentially on pace to do something in the American League that nobody has done in 18 years, and that's strike out 300 batters. Pedro Martinez the last to do that. Clayton Kershaw did it recently in the National League. Sale also has finished in the top 6 in Cy Young voting 5 years in a row. Nobody else in the American League has done that. Kershaw's done it 6 years in a row in the National League. But it sure looks like this year is going to be the first Cy Young Award for Chris Sale. And some would say maybe he should be in the MVP conversation. I don't know how you guys feel about that. It happens from time to time. Obviously, Kershaw's won an MVP. Justin Verlander's won an MVP. He's having a great year. Is he worthy of MVP consideration?
Is he the most valuable on this team? Yes. But I think to give that value, I'm all for a pitcher getting it if they're just otherworldly. I think what Chris Sale is doing is phenomenal. I think it's not quite where Kershaw was when he won the MVP, making history.
Well, I think he's in the conversation, absolutely. And, you know, oftentimes these MVP awards are won down the stretch. And a lot of times if you're pitching in a pennant race in big games and you have these kind of signature games down the stretch, which he certainly could still have, then I absolutely think he'll be in the conversation. But obviously a lot of great candidates, especially with the ball flying out of the ballpark as much as it is.
Well, at the All-Star break, I think Aaron Judge was a guy who was right there and getting a ton of attention, and deservedly so for the first half of the year he had. But, I mean, the year Jose Altuve is having for the Houston Astros is...
He's the dude right now.
I think he's the guy right now. Buster, I don't know. Where do you stand on this in terms of Sale being in the conversation?
Watch out for Mike Trout.
Yeah,
he is flying up on the outside.
Yeah. And think about the Angels too. Now all of a sudden
they're in the wild card.
They're in the wild card. Not only Hunt, but if the season were to end, they're right there. And if Mike Trout leads the Angels into the postseason and continues, you know, he was having for as great as his career has been, obviously his first several seasons in the big leagues, he was maybe having his best season to date. I mean, he keeps getting better.
Yep.
So absolutely he could be in there.
He's a guy, and John Shambi, one of our colleagues, brought this up on Buster's podcast this week. He's a guy, we talk about Aaron Judge struggling with fastballs up in the zone. Mike Trout has those same numbers, except he just doesn't swing at it. And that to me is just players who get better and better, understand their weaknesses, and know how to position themselves to not have to swing at those pitches. That's so hard to do.
Booney, I would disagree with you on this. You said in a year in which a lot of guys are hitting home runs, you got other candidates. I think that's a reason to vote for Sale. As of this moment, you've got 62 players that have 20 or more home runs. That's not that unusual. What Chris Sale is doing is.
Getting the battle here from Austin Romine.
Oh,
it is International Left-Handers Day, as we mentioned. Good catch by Paul.
They're everywhere. Dan, you're a lefty. Our producer's a lefty.
He's going to be signing autographs.
Yeah. Good night to bring the glove to the ballpark. Pretty good at bat here. Sale's making some good pitches, and Romine keeps spoiling them. Chris Sale leading the American League in virtually every significant stat. There he is, second to Corey Kluber, who pitched and pitched well again today for the Indians, struck out 9 more. Kluber's second in the league in ERA. A towering fly ball to medium depth right field. And Mookie Betts there, 2 down. Sunday Night Baseball on ESPN, presented by Taco Bell, is brought to you by Shell and the Fuel Rewards Program, where you can get instant gold status. As we mentioned, the ballpark is full. There's a buzz in the air. Some Red Sox fans are here, predominantly obviously Yankee fans, excited about where their team is at. In the minds of some, the Yankees may be a year or 2 ahead of schedule. Was this supposed to be, although not publicly announced, as such a rebuilding year? But the young players have come up and done well, to the point where Brian Cashman went out and made 3 deals, picked up 5 players. We've seen Todd Frazier, Sonny Gray, of course, Jaime Garcia, Tommy Kahnle, David Robertson. I mean, 5 good players, too, to bolster this team's chances down the stretch.
Well, and how different this team looks than it did a year ago. In fact, today is the anniversary of Greg Bird, Aaron Judge, and Tyler Austin getting brought up to the big leagues. And just where that team was, Mark Teixeira, Alex Rodriguez, and a year ago today, just how much this team has changed. And now, because of it, the fans getting behind this team and their playoff hopes.
Strike 3 called to get Gardner, and that's the inning. 3 shutout innings, 3 strikeouts so far for Sale.
The stress of everyday life can lead to chronic headaches, neck, and back pain. The Joint Chiropractic can help. Licensed chiropractors conveniently open 7 days a week with no appointments or insurance hassles. To find relief today, visit thejoint.com.
You know me. I'm the Addiction Network. Over 1.5 million people have called for help. So why haven't you called? What are you waiting for?
I lost everything, and the only way to get my life back was to pick up the phone and call and go to treatment.
Are you currently on Medicare? In other words, do you carry the red, white, and blue Medicare card? If so, are you suffering from chronic back pain or knee pain? If you answered yes, you may be eligible for a pain-relieving back brace or knee brace covered by Medicare at little to absolutely no cost to you. Will you qualify for a Medicare-covered back brace or knee brace? There's only one way to find out.
Call the Back and Knee Brace Center at 1-800-803-8513.
You always pay your insurance on time. Tap one little bumper and up go your rates. What good is having insurance if you get punished for using it?
For drivers with accident forgiveness, Liberty Mutual won't raise your rates due to your first accident. Liberty Mutual Insurance.
Any last words? Karma, Danny. Karma!
Progress is seizing the moment. Your summer moment awaits you now that the Summer of Audi sales event is here. Audi will cover your first month's lease payment on select models during the Summer of Audi sales event.
The moment you realize grocery lists only help when you remember to bring them.
At Lowe's, we have refrigerators like Samsung's Family Hub, which lets you create a shopping list that syncs to your phone so you always know what you need. All projects have a starting point. Start with Lowe's.
Hurry into Lowe's and get 10 to 25% off select appliance special values.
We go to the top of the fourth here in the Bronx. The Red Sox and Yankees on Sunday Night Baseball. No score, just one hit in the game. That belongs to Brock Holt for Boston back in the second. Jordan Montgomery on the mound for the Yankees. And misses outside. Ball one to Andrew Benintendi, who had a fly ball to center field his first time up. Kind of forgotten because of the first half that Aaron Judge had, but there are actually other really good rookies in the American League. And this guy is one of them, and he is as hot now as Judge was in the first half. Benintendi hitting .280, 16 homers, 65 RBIs on a tear in August.
Well, and he was the front runner for Rookie of the Year coming into the season. Nice recovery by Judge. But you think about, because of Aaron Judge in the first half that he had, you forget about the other players that are still in contention. And you look at the numbers that Benintendi has. You see Judge continue to slide, and Trey Mancini, someone that doesn't get talked about a lot as well, having a great rookie season. And Yuli Gurriel, talk about depth and being able to move around different positions when he's able to play first base and get into games, and the power that he brings to that hot Astros team, although they've struggled as of late.
Still got to think that Judge has a significant lead for that award, but there are some other very good rookies in the American League right now as Hanley Ramirez looks at a strike. Ramirez called out on strikes. His first time up, one of 2 strikeouts so far for Montgomery. Yankees getting the news this week, not only Sabathia going on the DL with a bad knee, that's why Montgomery is back, but Masahiro Tanaka has gone on the disabled list with some soreness in his shoulder. And the Yankees have yet to announce who will be their starting pitcher tomorrow night when they host the Mets, a game that you can see here on ESPN. So they're without 2 of their starting pitchers. Starlin Castro's on the DL right now, although he's getting closer, may go out on a rehab assignment this week. Same for Greg Bird, the first baseman who's missed virtually the whole year. And also Matt Holliday is on the DL, so the Yankees are without some key pieces. Yeah. Now, we are told, Peter Pasquarelli telling us that just before game time, the Yankees officially announced what was rumored is that Luis Cessa will be the starting pitcher tomorrow night.
Well, and the good news for the Yankees is obviously the 3 guys you mentioned that appear closer to going out on a rehab assignment, but also they feel like in Tanaka and Sabathia, they do believe that it will be closer to that 10-day disabled list. They feel like they will be able to join the rotation before too long, which obviously is good news with and of course with the addition of Sonny Gray and Jaime Garcia, potentially a much better starting rotation than they had certainly the first half.
Pulled foul by Ramirez.
I really like Montgomery, and I've liked him when he was up for the first part of the season, and obviously they're managing his innings, and that's why they've sent him back down, plus the additions of Gray and Garcia, as you mentioned. But young pitcher, so much potential, and we're seeing it tonight even with his use of his fastball. I think his best pitch is his curveball. The way he's been able to locate it, especially to righties tonight. But they need that.
And it gets Ramirez to chase a breaking ball in the dirt for out number 2. Tomorrow at 7 p.m. Eastern Time, ESPN2 kicks off the 2nd annual Fantasy Football Marathon with 28 straight hours of coverage. Matthew Berry and Adam Schefter will once again be on air for every second, along with special guests as they bring you the most comprehensive fantasy insight to prepare you for the upcoming season. Of course, our coverage will also be on ESPN and the ESPN app. Mr. Boone, I know you are a fantasy footballer.
Yes, I am.
Yeah.
So it is about that time of year.
You studying yet?
Not a ton, but I've started to browse a little bit. You know, if I had the first pick, which actually in my league I have just found out I have the 7th pick.
Okay.
But if I had the first pick, it'd be Le'Veon Bell. I love watching that dude run the football. How he's just big and just kind of bounces and then scoot, and all of a sudden, how do you get 6 yards on that play? And you know, running backs are huge in the fantasy football world, so you gotta gather them up.
I just booked tickets this morning for Green Bay. Dan, I know you're a Packer fan. I'm headed to Green Bay in December to watch. So I mean, I'd have to go with Aaron Rodgers, and I know I'm stealing yours, but I mean, to me, there's a team that I lock in on, and that's them. Especially when you get a chance to go to Lambeau every year, as my family and I do.
I'm going to give you the sleeper quarterback. Take him as your second quarterback. You probably get him real late this year. Deshaun Watson. Buckle up. Have a good year. You'll be able to steal him.
Check swing bouncer back to the mound off the bat of Chris Young, and it's a 1-2-3 inning again for Jordan Montgomery.
Jenny is breaking up with Jason. It's pretty uncomfortable. Jason's filling the void with seasoned beef, hearty potatoes, and warm nacho cheese sauce, bringing some comfort to a very uncomfortable situation.
You are making this uncomfortable, Todd.
How's that feel, Jenny?
Not good.
Not good. Taste the comfort with the new $1 Beefy Potato Rito, only at Taco Bell.
What about Slammin' Stanton? Or South Beach Smasher?
What are you doing here, man?
Giving you a nickname.
No, like here.
Oh, well, T-Mobile's all unlimited, so I've got unlimited access to all things MLB.
All things, huh?
Yep. The Stanton of SWAT.
Nah.
4-bagger with swagger.
No, thanks.
Oh, I got it. Mic drop. Because he used to go by Mike. Maybe?
We can't really give every fan access to the field, but we can give you America's best unlimited network, T-Mobile.
Touching hands, reaching out, touching me, touching you. Sweet Caroline, good times never seem so good. So good! So good!
Make your commute a little sweeter in the newly redesigned Hyundai Sonata, our best Sonata ever.
So it's an extra 5% off on all this?
Yep, all this.
The moment you realize you can save big, even on the small stuff.
You get an extra 5% off every day on items big or small with your Lowe's Advantage card.
The Falcon Wild Peak MT tire features step-down supports to enhance stability and handling while preventing stones from becoming trapped in the grooves. Be ready for any terrain with the Falcon Wild Peak MT.
The grandest slam in the world and the greatest city in the world collide. Only in New York. Don't miss out on the event of the summer, the 2017 U.S. Open. Get your tickets today.
To the bottom of the fourth here at Yankee Stadium. No score between the Red Sox and the Yankees on Sunday Night Baseball. Jordan Montgomery and Chris Sale on the mound for their respective teams. Sale's faced 10 batters tonight. He has thrown a first pitch strike to all 10 of them. He'll face 2, 3, 4. Aaron Hicks, Aaron Judge, and Gary Sanchez here in the fourth. And his first pitch ball of the night on a slider that misses inside to Hicks, who hit a fly ball to right field. Has also made a great defensive play tonight. The opening play of the game, in fact, robbing Eduardo Nunez of an extra base hit.
Friday night. This is what the Red Sox are known for, aggressive base running, and Aaron Hicks. This is the catch tonight. Aaron Hicks making a great diving grab. Dan, you were mentioning the play Friday night, but Nunez, his buddy from the Twins, got him out twice, throwing him out in the double play Friday and then robbing him.
And Nunez couldn't believe that Hicks made the play. On the appeal, no swing. And it's 3-1 now on Hicks, who was on the DL with an oblique injury, missed 39 games. Can play all three outfield spots, some speed, some power, and now settling in nicely in the lineup in front of Aaron Judge, who looms on deck.
There's a great look at Chris Sale behind in the count there, 3-1. And I'm sure Hicks selling out on the fastball, but look at him just stick this fastball 95 miles an hour on the inner half, and this frankly just ties up Aaron Hicks. And again, I think 95, 97, we see that velocity, but you couple that with the unique angle and delivery that Sale creates.
Strikeout number 4.
Perfectly coming right back, and even better pitch with the fastball and dotting that inside corner. Hicks hoping and kind of quits on it. Again, that angle, he sees that thing coming at him almost because it's coming so far from the first base side, but clearly catching the inside corner. Leone does a good job of catching it, and it freezes Aaron Hicks. You know, as much as you face a guy as Chris Sale, and obviously these guys will now face him a lot being within the division, it's still an adjustment getting used to such a unique angle coupled with the outstanding stuff and command.
There's nobody like him in baseball.
Right.
The height, the angle.
Well, you think about comparisons as far as the angle, like you just brought up, Dan. So you get a Madison Bumgarner who's successful in his own right, as Judge strikes out on a fastball up in the zone. But what Chris Sale does is he adds, I mean, Madison Bumgarner, his fastball is 91, 92 at best. So now you get Sale with the stuff, with the velocity, and the deception.
They continue to challenge Aaron Judge up in the zone, and that one in the strike zone at a 97 miles an hour. Judge just simply cannot catch up to it, but it's the execution there by Sale.
So back-to-back strikeouts to begin the inning, and now here's the DH Gary Sanchez, who struck out to end the first.
Guys, the other day I had a conversation with Steven Souza Jr. of the Rays, and he told me, he said, most of the time when you face a pitcher, more and more you get more comfortable. He said with Sale, it becomes more of a puzzle.
And remember, if you go back to his first year and a bit in the majors with the White Sox, he pitched out of the bullpen. There were some concerns, you know, because he's so thin. He's 6'6", 172. Can he hold up as a starter? He's held up incredibly well as a starter. Sanchez lines the ball to deep left field. It's going to be off the wall on a bounce. And it's going to be a very long single for Gary Sanchez.
Well, Sanchez stays back enough on this slider that breaks across the plate. See, it kind of stays up just enough, and Sanchez a real nice job being out in front of this pitch a little bit, but watch how long he kind of, by letting go of the bat, is able to keep that. Yeah, he keeps the barrel in the hitting zone, and that allows him to get the barrel to the ball, as even though he's out in front. And then Benintendi plays that carom perfectly and keeps Sanchez off of second base and out of scoring position with 2 outs.
Here's Todd Frazier. Frazier grounded out his first time up. That hit for Sanchez, the first hit of the night for the Yankees. The Red Sox have just 1 hit through 4 innings off Jordan Montgomery.
Oh, yeah.
Frazier, big power in his time in the big leagues. Cincinnati, White Sox. Takes a little bit outside. 2 balls and a strike. Since his acquisition, Chase Headley playing a lot more first base, and that's where Headley is tonight.
Yeah.
Considering there have only been 2 base runners against Sale, and a balk has been called, or was it, or was time? No, step off, forgive me, that's what Las Diaz was saying. Step off, wanting Sale to know before he released the pitch that Frazier had asked for time.
Yeah, that's just Frazier trying to slow that pace down just a little bit.
Slider for a strike.
sometimes when you get a pitcher that works so fast, it can throw off your routine of just getting in the box. And I think Frazier just telling Laz, saying, hey, give me a second to just get set here. As you can see, Sale gets it and ready to roll.
Sanchez will be on the move here. There he goes, and the 3-2 lifted in the air to right field. Betts settling underneath it, and that's the inning. No runs, the first hit of the night for the Yankees, with a man left on. And we're at the end of 4. Jordan Montgomery and Chris Sale both trading zeros. We are scoreless at the end of 4.
I was made in the shadows of greatness, shaped by the hands of legacy, forged in the fires of racing. I've been challenged, tested, and proven. Whether it's on that track or off, the truth is, what you're made of is what you're made to do.
Infinity, empower the drive.
Apparently, the picture is worth 1,000 words. The award-winning 4K displays from Vizio.
We have a chance to see everybody out of that bullpen tonight. 5-5 in the 4th. There's a long fly ball. He leaps. He made an unbelievable catch. Did he hang on? He sure did. That just might be the play of the year.
MLB wants to see what you've got. We're on the lookout for your best plays, whether it's baseball, softball, stickball, or backyard ball. Share your best stuff using hashtag MLBThePlay for a chance to be featured by MLB.
No score going to the top of the 5th here at Yankee Stadium. Moments ago, we had a chance to speak with Yankee manager Joe Girardi. Joe, you had to bring Jordan Montgomery back to the big leagues after CC Sabathia went on the DL this week. What do you think of him so far tonight?
So far, so good. You know, he's given up the one hit. He's given up a couple hard outs by Nunez, but I think he's mixed all his pitches pretty well tonight.
Well, mixing his pitches, and you knew it coming in, Chris Sale, and what he's been able to throw. What adjustments do you think your hitters need to make against him?
Well, you know, the thing is he's not getting behind in the count, so you can't just really look for one pitch. I think he's thrown about 10 balls the whole night. So, you know, I think our guys are making him throw strikes, and they're grinding out at bats. We just haven't done anything yet.
Appreciate it, Joe. Thanks for the time.
Thanks, Joe.
And that was the point just before the last half inning ended that I was trying to make, is that they're fouling off a lot of pitches. Actually, considering how well Sale is pitching, that there have only been 2 base runners, the Yankees are actually getting his pitch count up a bit as Bogaerts grounds out for the first out of the inning. There's another game going on tonight because of a postponement yesterday. Second game of a doubleheader between the Giants and the Nationals. And Ryan Zimmerman having a heck of a year with his 27th home run to give Washington a 2-1 lead. But the Panda strikes. Pablo Sandoval with his first home run as a Giant, and the Giants and Nationals are tied 2-2, top of the 8th inning right now in Washington. The Giants won the opening game of the doubleheader earlier today.
It's got to feel so good for Pablo Sandoval to get that first home run back there in San Francisco, or playing for San Francisco.
Max Scherzer started that game for Washington. He's out now in the 8th inning. He went 7 innings, gave up a couple of runs on 5 hits, walk 1, out 10. It is an injury depleted lineup, of course, for the Nationals. They sustained yet another injury yesterday, and this one was to Bryce Harper. Brock Holt, the batter here, and by now I think everybody's probably seen the play. It was after a lengthy this was Friday, actually, lengthy rain delay, and then the bag was slick, and then his left foot lands on the bag, skids off the bag. He lands awkwardly, and by all accounts very fortunate that there was no ligament or tendon damage to his knee, just what the Nationals themselves, Mike Rizzo, the GM, is calling a significant bone bruise. And again, no timetable, and Bryce Harper has said he wants to make sure he's 100% before he comes back. He's got his sights set on trying to help his team get to the World Series.
Well, if you watch that video, I mean, first of all, it'll make your stomach just cringe. And the fact that he walks away from that with a bone bruise is a blessing, Dan, because that hyperextension, and honestly how he slipped on the base because of the rain and because of the dampness is something there's a lot of conversation about, trying to change some of the bases, especially when it's wet out. They change the soil, try to take care of that.
And it was yesterday. The postponement was Friday. They played yesterday after a lengthy rain delay, and it was raining hard as the play happened. And if you haven't seen the play, when you'll see it, you'll be amazed that the injury wasn't more serious, because it does not look good. He goes flying into the air. His left foot skids, catches, and then he goes hurtling down the line. This is one of the very best players of the game having to be helped off the field. But the Nationals feel somewhat fortunate, I guess, that it wasn't a more serious injury. And as you guys have talked about, Buster, you spoke about this on Baseball Tonight before the game. You have written about this. As we bring Buster in for the field level. Buster, have you had any conversations with people since the Harper injury about the bases?
Yeah, some executives asking the same question that I was mentioning this morning about whether or not there should be a conversation about the composition of the bases. I've had coaches tell me they seem more rigid. When they get wet, like in that case last night, they can become more slippery. And you heard Mark Teixeira talk about it during the Baseball Tonight. He mentioned that when he played first base, because of his own concerns for his own safety, he would work to rough up first base, so it wasn't as much of an issue.
Scuff it up with his cleats, right?
Exactly.
Yep.
That's what he was talking about.
Well, and with the technology that we have now, and how much, I mean, you think about how much maintenance goes into just the field alone to make sure that it's playable. I would think something as simple as the bases and the composition, I'm sure the technology is available.
0-2 the count on Sandy Leon.
Well, let's be clear here. Harper's not the only guy who's been hurt on a play at first base with the bag. It certainly is going to draw some more attention to it, much in the way that the Buster Posey injury drew attention to home plate collisions. But earlier this year, we saw Adam Eaton get injured. We saw Mike Trout go into second base head first and tear up his thumb. No give in the bases is what you hear from some coaches who can compare that to the way the bases were when they played.
Aaron, in your opinion, from the time you broke into the major leagues until the time you retired, was there a difference in the bases?
I don't recall that personally. I mean, there very well could have been, but now I know as much as they rotate the bases and as locked in as they are, there could be. I think my takeaway is, hearing
Holt breaks for second. And he's in there safely.
Great read by Holt there, reading that ball in the dirt. Here we are in a 0-0 game. And this is one of the hallmarks of this Red Sox team. Very aggressive on the base pass. And Romine does a nice job of blocking that pitch. But because Holt read it well in the dirt, he's able to get a great break, a running start. And even though Romine's out of there throwing quickly, no chance to get Holt. And now an opportunity for a couple of hitters with a runner in scoring position.
Wild pitch is the scoring on the play. So runner at second, one out. And Holt dancing around out there, trying to distract Montgomery.
But we were getting word obviously last night of, did you see the Bryce Harper play where he was down and obviously looked really bad? You guys know I haven't watched it. I'm not good at watching those kind of things. I trust you guys that it was really bad, but to see him today, to hear no ligament damage, and to see him walk into that press conference today and talk about it. I mean, look, we obviously want everyone on the field, but we certainly want our stars on the field, especially for a Nationals team headed to the postseason, a Nationals team that has never gotten out of that first round. You want to see them with all their horses come October, and hopefully, and it looks like that's going to be a reality.
Full count on Leon. And a big second out for Montgomery. MLB wants to see your best plays this summer, whether they're in the backyard or on the diamond. Show us what you've got on social media with hashtag MLB The Play. It will feature some of the best all season long. Full house. We saw some cotton candy being devoured earlier tonight, some popcorn being made. Young fans hoping for a souvenir. Packed house here at Yankee Stadium. Yankees hosting the Red Sox. No score, 5th inning. Bullpen up for the Yankees. Chad Green throwing. The Yankees, as we mentioned earlier, because Montgomery is a rookie, want to be somewhat careful with his innings and his pitches. And again, he had just been sent down to the minors, not because he'd done anything wrong, just because the Yankees had acquired Sonny Gray and Jaime Garcia. But then when CC Sabathia went on the DL, Montgomery came back. But again, in keeping with being somewhat cautious with his innings, Green is up here in the 5th inning.
Well, and I think you're talking about, when you talk about the Yankees, the strength of their team.
That's going to be a base hit for Bradley. And Holt's going around third and coming to score. The Red Sox have the lead.
Well, that base running play by Brock Holt in aggressively getting himself into scoring position on a great read now helps net the Red Sox a run. It's a breaking ball that stays up in the zone, up around the belt or thigh high, and Jackie Bradley Jr. does a good job of just driving this back through the middle of the diamond. A little shift is on. Didi Gregorius trying to keep Brock Holt close there at second, just can't get enough range to get to that with his backhand. And the athleticism of the Boston Red Sox pays dividends as they dent the scoreboard first tonight here in the Bronx.
And think of all the movement that Holt had on second base to make sure that Didi was close to kind of get him out of his regular position to allow that base hit to happen. I mean, he was dancing out there. He was moving around just to remind Montgomery and this infield, hey, I'm not afraid to think about it. And that's what helps create that RBI.
Yeah. Back to the top of the order for Eduardo Nunez, who's hit the ball hard twice but has nothing to show for it.
And this is probably Montgomery's last hitter, no matter what. If he gets through this inning, I think then you'll see the Yankees and Joe Girardi turn it over to that outstanding bullpen where they can run out a bunch of quality guys inning after inning. Or if Nunez gets on here, I think you'll definitely see Green for the righty bets on deck. And a good job by Montgomery here of, after giving up that hit, getting that breaking ball up in the zone a little bit, jumps right back ahead of Nunez as we look at the line of Jordan Montgomery tonight. And this is where he's been good. When he's been ahead in the count tonight, he's done a good job with his off-speed pitches of getting some chases down and out of the zone. I would think they'd go back to that to try and finish off Nunez.
The 0-2. Montgomery and Sale matching zeros for the first 4 innings, with the Red Sox taking the lead here in the top of the 5th. Boston coming into the game tonight having won 9 of its last 10. Chris Sale on the mound trying to lengthen its lead in the division. Another 0-2. And a high fly ball. Pop up, really. Gregorius back. And he makes the catch. But the Red Sox have scored a run. They've given Sale a lead going to the bottom of the 5th.
Medical warning for hernia mesh patients. If you or someone you love had hernia surgery between 2010 and 2016, you may be entitled to significant financial compensation.
Call 800-495-1224.
Important message for hernia mesh patients. If you or a loved one had hernia surgery between 2010 and 2016 and experienced serious complications, call Guardian Legal Network. You may be entitled to financial compensation. Physio-mesh complications include infection, mesh migration, chronic pain, and a reopening of the hernia. Call to speak to an experienced lawyer now. If you don't win, you pay nothing.
Call 800-431-4916.
Attention all users of the dangerous blood thinners Xarelto or Pradaxa. You may have been exposed to the serious risks caused by these medications. Call Guardian Legal Network now. There are time deadlines to file your claim. If we don't win, you pay nothing.
Kid, be a kid. The Little League World Series begins Thursday, August 17th on the networks of ESPN, presented by Dick's Sporting Goods.
Progress is seizing the moment. Your summer moment awaits you now that the Summer of Audi sales event is here. Audi will cover your first month's lease payment on select models during the Summer of Audi sales event.
Andre is an air traffic controller. When it comes to planning the best routes, nobody does it better. He's also a championship-winning football coach. Look at that formation. But when it comes to mortgages, he's less confident. Fortunately for Andre, there's Rocket Mortgage by Quicken Loans. It's simple, so he can understand the details and be sure he's getting the right mortgage. Apply simply, understand fully, mortgage confidently.
Want more sports? Hey Siri, download the ESPN app. To the bottom of the fifth in the Bronx, the Red Sox with a 1-0 lead on the Yankees. And Chris Sale on the mound, and he has been typical Sale so far. 4 innings, 1 hit, 1 walk, 5 strikeouts. As Didi Gregorius leads off the inning. Sale begins this inning now with a streak of 26 consecutive scoreless innings on the road. And a pop-up, middle of the diamond. 1 down.
Well, so much stuff. We've talked about the deception of Chris Sale, but tonight the command of his fastball. First of all, the arm side command and what he's able to get that late gear to both lefties and righties. And then as good as anyone throwing to the glove side. You don't see a lot of pitchers be able to come across and command the fastball with the glove side and then go up in the zone. Again, that late gear, the elevation, the command, and
liner to center and down for a base hit for Chase Headley.
When it comes to getting strikeouts on that 4-seam fastball, it's a lot of good names on that list. As you take a look at the StatCast powered by AWS, 107 for Chris Sale, including tonight, what he's been able to do. Maybe just the difference between him and the next, Jacob deGrom, 17 less.
Second hit of the night for the Yankees belongs to Headley. Here's Ronald Torreyes. Torreyes getting a lot of time at second base with Starlin Castro on the DL with a hamstring injury. Torreyes has had a bigger role this year than intended because of injuries, and he has done a terrific job. He's hitting .286 and hitting about .340 against lefties. You know,
if they get to the postseason, I think one of the unsung heroes will be Ronald Torreyes. Remember, Didi Gregorius started the year on the disabled list, so it was Torreyes playing shortstop and getting a lot of hits and being part of what was a great start to the season for the Yankees. Now obviously playing a lot of second, but his ability to move all around. And as you said, .340 coming into the game against left-handed pitching.
Now to play 0-2.
That base hit by Headley. Headley's had a little bit of success against Sale in his career. Came into the game 6 for 20 with a couple homers. And that was a changeup he hit to center field. And I think that's something that we haven't seen a lot of changeups from Chris Sale tonight. I think there's something a little different in how he throws that maybe some of these hitters pick up when he does offer with it.
Torreyes chases out of the zone. Strikeout number 6 for Sale. Play Ball is MLB's initiative to inspire all forms of baseball and softball participation, making play opportunities available and fun for everyone. To learn more, go to playball.org. All kinds of young fans in the house here tonight in the Bronx. 1-0 the Red Sox lead. The Yankees will stay home and play the Mets tomorrow night and Tuesday night. We'll have the game for you tomorrow night here on ESPN, and then they'll go crosstown to Citi Field for games Wednesday and Thursday, and the Friday game will be on ESPN, and then the Yankees head to Fenway. So 3 with Boston, 4 with the Mets, and then 3 more with the Red Sox. That's the 10-day stretch right now that the Yankees are in. Austin Romine, the catcher, 0 for 1. And if you're looking at the standings, and if you're a Yankee fan, you're looking at the standings because everybody is chasing them. Let's start with the American League East. Boston with a 4.5 game lead on the Yankees, but incredible parity, for lack of a better word, incredible congestion in the American League wild card race, with the Yankees currently holding down the top spot.
And for being, mid-August, guys, this feels like one of those big games. I mean, the Red Sox, if they can get out of here with a win, especially after yesterday's game where they lose a tough one Friday night, fall behind Severino, the Yankee ace, 2-0, and come back and win. And now if they're able to win tonight and move to 5.5 up, not that that's insurmountable by any means, but that's a pretty significant lead in mid-August.
Sent to right field and pretty deep, and Betts can't make the catch. Headley around third, coming home. He will score. Romine slides into third. And Mookie Betts could not make the catch up against the fence, and the Yankees have tied it.
Well, remember, Romine had a really competitive at-bat in his first at-bat against Chris Sale, fouling off a lot of pitches, just missing a ball to right. Here, down 2 strikes, hits a pretty good slider down and away, and that short right field porch. Mookie Betts gets there, probably the best defensive right fielder in the game. He gets there in plenty of time, and there's no interference from the fan. He just misses the ball.
Off the heel.
Yeah.
And the Yankees happy to take advantage. At the moment, at least, it's been scored a triple for Romine. Either way, it has tied the game at 1 and really brought this ballpark to life. Well, the scorer, the official scorer, may not change his or her mind, but Mookie Betts will be the first to tell you that ball is a ball that he catches every time, and that ball's he'll apologize to Chris Sale when he gets into the dugout.
What's interesting though is he's textbook going back. He knows where the wall is. He puts his hand out. He had 2 looks before he got there. He just, as soon as he gets there, it's like that 2 inches off of judgment. But he did everything he needed to do. The wall did not catch him off guard.
Booney, you mentioned Betts' preeminence as a defender. There's a statistic, defensive runs saved. He's got 30 this year. The next closest defender, any position, is at 21.
Yeah, and that's been a trend for the last few years. And obviously playing half his games in the spacious right field at Fenway Park, this is a very different outfield for him, but uncharacteristic to see a mistake.
Yep, Gold Glover last year.
Yep. And I was talking about the Red Sox and potentially moving to 5.5 if they win. Conversely, though, all of a sudden the Yankees, you're up against the Red Sox ace, and if you can somehow scratch a win out tonight and go to 3.5, man, we got ourselves a race all of a sudden. And as we've talked about, a lot of help on the way for the Yankees, presumably in the next 10 days, 2 weeks, and beyond.
Swing and a miss by Gardner. The inning is over. But the Yankees have tied it 1-1 at the end of 5.
Hey Siri, remind me to dominate relentlessly today.
Okay, I'll remind you.
Already on it.
Ready, Tim?
Let's do this.
Rear cross traffic alert.
Was that Mike?
That's blind spot warning.
And that's Harry. The car stopped for me.
Automatic emergency braking.
It's car buying season at Nissan's Bottom Line sales event. Lease the Rogue family, starting at just $159 per month.
Bottom line, they still can't touch you.
I'll take it.
We just did it. We just did it. We just did it.
Is that Marcy? Why does she look so great?
Oh, I just signed her up for the Fuel Rewards program, and she got instant gold status. Here, check it out.
Oh, wow.
Get rewarded at Shell with instant gold status when you join now at fuelrewards.com/gold or download the app.
Hi, Marcy.
At Bridgestone, our engineers want to help make sure you're not stuck on the side of the road. To prove it, we brought in some professional archers. Our revolutionary drive guard tires are engineered to take a puncture and drive up to 50 miles.
Ready to go.
Watch our latest Archer demo at BridgestoneTire.com.
Ooh, let's go visit the Javelin team. Now through October 8th, buy 4 eligible Bridgestone tires and you can get a $70 Visa prepaid card by mail. Plus, you can get up to $100 when you use your CFNA credit card account.
Release the Black Raven.
This isn't real.
Then send a group text.
Managing an unruly team? Bad fantasy. Managing your league from anywhere? Good fantasy. Start your league at ESPN.com/goodfantasy.
Mookie Betts shaking his head, upset with himself, talking to himself a little bit as he made his way back into the Red Sox dugout, talking to Andrew Benintendi about what went wrong, how he didn't catch that ball. Right up against the fence, scored a triple for Romine, ties the game at 1, and now here's Betts to lead off the 6th. And Montgomery is back in the mound, presumably because the left-hand hitting Benintendi is on deck. So probably 2 more batters coming here for Montgomery. With the bullpen busy again.
Yeah, I thought they would. I thought Nunez would be his last batter, but Joe pushing him a little bit extra here into the 6th. Now David Robertson getting up in the bullpen.
Betts with a fly ball to deep left center field. Another catch made by Hicks. Didn't have to dive headlong to make this play as he did back in the first, but another fine running catch for Hicks.
You know, Dan, I would argue that this one was even a harder catch than the one he had to dive for because of how far he travels and also where he catches it up over his head when you know that the wall is coming. He's 2.5 steps after he catches this, running into the wall, everything that he's factoring in. I say it's a better catch than he made in the first inning, and Aaron Hicks showing off all weekend his defense.
That's a home run in some ballparks. It's 399 to the wall in left center here at Yankee Stadium. Here's Benintendi 0 for 2. Couple of home runs yesterday, numbers 15 and 16 on the season. So David Robertson being up in the 6th inning. Usually he pitches, say, the 7th inning in front of Betances and Chapman, but this is Joe Girardi, perhaps, as we speculate, saying, you know what, I might need more than 3 outs from some or all of my key guys. This is a big game.
Well, and I think something that he's realizing, and we talked to him about a little bit before the game, is, you know, outside of Chapman, obviously, is going to be the guy in the 9th. He's got so many high-end, back-end relievers that it really comes down to, I believe, night in and night out, a matchup situation. And looking at the other team's lineup and saying, all right, who's our best matchup for this part of the order with the Red Sox? I've got Canely, I've got Robertson, obviously we've got Betances, all these guys and more. And I think looking at it probably analytically and who matches up the best.
Joe Girardi on the phone again, tied at 1, the 6th inning here at Yankee Stadium. You're watching Sunday Night Baseball on ESPN, presented by Taco Bell. Rubber matchup, a 3-game series. The Red Sox 4.5 up, and the Yankees atop the American League East. Is this last batter for Montgomery?
I think this is a great indicator of the respect that and the fear that they have of Benintendi, sending Montgomery back out there, knowing that Benintendi was second up and that they wanted to face him.
3-0 curveball, too. End of the night for Montgomery. David Robertson will be coming in.
Seeing is revealing. Seeing is celebrating. Seeing is believing. Your sight is a gift. What are you doing to protect it? A yearly exam from your eye doctor can help detect serious eye diseases before they compromise your sight. Learn more at thinkaboutyouryes.com.
Oh boy! Looking for adventure this summer?
Holy smokes.
Oh man, that's pretty intense. Look no further than Chevrolet.
This is a fast car. I feel like I left my soul back there.
Wow, this has power.
What a nice car.
Go for thrilling drives and deals today at the Chevy Summer Drive. Now through August 14th, get 20% below MSRP on all Chevy Malibu LT models. That's over $5,300 on this Chevy Malibu. Find new roads at your local Chevy dealer.
There are over 18 million new cars on the road in this country, and at Firestone Complete Auto Care, our 4,000 ASE certified technicians combine state-of-the-art technology with handcrafted service to help keep them running newer, longer, because they know when your car's running right, so are you. Right now at Firestone Complete Auto Care, score $70 on a Bridgestone Visa prepaid card by mail when you buy a set of 4 eligible Bridgestone tires, and get up to $100 when you use your CFNA credit card. Whatever you drive, drive a Firestone.
Sunday Night Baseball on ESPN, presented by Taco Bell, is brought to you by Liberty Mutual Insurance. Liberty stands with you. And Sprint. Switch and save today. Visit sprint.com. Beautiful night here in New York for a ball game. Yankees and Red Sox tied up at 1. Don't forget weekdays on ESPN2 at 4 Eastern. It's Intentional Talk with Chris Rose and Kevin Millar. A 1-hour breakdown of baseball's hottest topics. You can also see it streaming live on the ESPN app. Packed house, tie game, new pitcher. With a runner at first, 1 out, 1-1 in the 6th inning. The recently reacquired David Robertson is on the mound for the Yankees.
Well, adding to that already deep and talented Yankee bullpen, next closer and, of course, setup man for Mariano Rivera late in his career, having another outstanding season and adding to that great back-end depth that the Yankees boast. Fastball with that natural cut action on it and a big curveball. Typically right there around 93 miles an hour with the fastball, and he'll throw that curveball a ton, almost 50-50 with the heater.
Hanley Ramirez struck out in both at-bats against Montgomery. Once looking, once swinging. Benintendi, the runner at first, has good speed. 14 steals on the season. The Red Sox are an aggressive team. And Benintendi, young and with speed, he can be an aggressive base runner. And John Farrell told us before the game, it's a balance for them. He wants his team to be aggressive. They have that kind of speed and base running ability, but they made a few more mistakes than he would like on the bases. But more often than not, the Red Sox will take some chances.
And I think Benintendi is actually the only one, and because of his youth, that they've actually kind of pulled the reins on a little bit and said, hey, sometimes you're a little too aggressive. But as far as everyone else, and you think about Nunez, I mean, there's so many players on this team that have speed. They love the aggressiveness.
One thing, Robertson, though, tough guy to run against. He's quick to home plate, has a quick move over there to first. So he's a guy that does a good job of controlling that running game.
Pretty good sized lead for Benintendi. Not going. And Ramirez takes inside.
With that, as quick as Robertson is there with that slide step, it would have to be an outstanding jump for Benintendi to roll out.
Draws another throw. Robertson, a Yankee from 2008 through the end of the 2014 season. As you mentioned, Aaron, he was a closer for a while. He had 39 saves for the Yankees in 2014. And then in his first 2 years with the White Sox, combined for 71 saves at 13 this year. So 131 career saves, but with the depth of this Yankee bullpen, more often than not working in front of both Dellin Betances and Aroldis Chapman. Not going. And missing again inside. 3 balls and a strike.
Well, this is where not just the stolen base, but the threat of that stolen base and speed over there, that's where it can affect the quality of pitches. You've got a dangerous hitter in Hanley Ramirez. You've got Robertson clearly paying attention to Andrew Benintendi over there, and now he's fallen behind in the count and perhaps more inclined to throw a mistake.
And he walked him. 2 on with a 1 out.
Jordan Montgomery coming into this night, it was all Chris Sale, but Montgomery keeping this Yankee team in the game with his curveball. This is his best pitch. He'll throw it when he's ahead, he'll throw it when he's behind for a strike, and then he's got it for a put away. Almost 2 different pitches in one, because he's able to get that late depth on it to get hitters to chase after he sets it up in the strike zone. A good night, 4 strikeouts, but that curveball really what worked tonight for Montgomery.
And John Farrell's going to his bench now. He'll bring a pinch hitter up against Robertson. It's rookie Rafael Devers, one of the youngest players in baseball, and just given a chance to come up to the big leagues in the last couple of weeks, and has done an outstanding job swinging the bat for Boston since he got called up. Hitting for average, hitting for power.
Yeah, get used to this name. Just 20 years of age and can really swing the bat.
Red Sox had a problem at third base. Sandoval didn't work out. They let him go. They used Holt there, used a number of different guys there. Obviously, Dave Dombrowski, the president, looked outside the organization and contemplated some moves and picked up Nunez, who can play third, as Dombrowski looks on here from Yankee Stadium. But Devers coming up, really solidifying the position and allowing Nunez to use a little bit more of that versatility that he's got.
And I think he's played better at third base than they even anticipated. I think that's the only question with Devers going forward. What will the quality be defensively at third? There's not much question that this kid is really going to hit, and he's had a great start to his career.
He's not even 21 yet. Takes down and away. He was born in October of 19. You want to feel old? He was born in 1996. Second youngest player in Major League Baseball.
And I think Robertson, if he can execute that breaking ball, that one he got strike 2 on, where he starts it on the inner half and buries it down and in, I think that's his best chance to put him away.
Laced foul right side.
He went right back to it. He tried to bury it down and in, but Devers goes to school on it, and it's not quite as quality a pitch. You see him going, trying to bury it down and away, but it just kind of hangs up enough. But it gets to a spot where Devers just hooks it a little bit, but a pretty nice adjustment with 2 strikes there by Devers and handling a pitch that, you know, might put some guys away. But you saw the bat speed on display there on that 2-strike swing.
Got it. Breaking ball to get him, 2 down.
Went right back to it. This time a little bit better. He wasn't quite able to bury the prior pitch. This time he buries it. Look at the late action on that. That ball starts up above the knees. Devers sees that pitch up, and it just disappears almost into the dirt. A big second out, and great execution by Robertson.
It almost helped him that he threw a meteor one the pitch before, because it allowed a bait.
Yeah,
Devers into swinging and missing at that one.
Benintendi and Ramirez aboard, and the batter is Xander Bogaerts. Ground ball to short, and Robertson will get it. Couple of men left on for the Red Sox here in the 6th.
Right now, switch to Unlimited and get an awesome iPhone 7. Go switch to Sprint, now.
Who's he talking to?
I don't know, but you heard the man.
Wait.
Get Sprint Unlimited, and now get iPhone 7 and get a second iPhone 7 on us.
Liberty Mutual stood with me when this guy got a flat tire in the middle of the night.
Hold on, Dad. Liberty did what?
Yeah, Liberty Mutual 24-hour roadside assistance helped him to fix his flat so he could get home safely.
My dad says our insurance doesn't have that. Don't worry, I know what a lug wrench is, Dad. Is this a lug wrench?
Maybe.
You can leave worry behind when Liberty stands with you. Liberty stands with you. Liberty Mutual Insurance.
Touching hands, reaching out, touching me, touching you. Sweet Caroline, good times never seem so good. So good! So good!
Make your commute a little sweeter in the newly redesigned Hyundai Sonata, our best Sonata ever.
Blue Moon is a well-crafted Belgian-style wheat beer brewed with Valencia orange peel for a refreshing taste that shines brighter. Blue Moon.
As you would imagine, the New York tabloids have been all over this series between the Red Sox and Yankees. Aaron Hicks with a big home run on Friday night off Addison Reed out of the Red Sox bullpen. And then yesterday, bad news on a couple of fronts. Luis Severino gives up 10 runs, 8 earned against the Red Sox. And Masahiro Tanaka winds up on the disabled list. So a tough day for Yankee starters. Meanwhile, here with the rubber match of the 3-game series, we're all tied up right now at 1. Going to the bottom of the 6th with Chris Sale on the mound for Boston. He struck out 7 through the first 5 innings. And really should be throwing a shutout, but for a ball that Mookie Betts could not catch up against the fence and right. It was scored a triple, but Betts will be the first to tell you he makes that catch 999 times out of 1,000. 2-3-4 for the Yankees. Hicks, Judge, and Sanchez coming up. With a long break between innings for Chris Sale. As the Red Sox were up for a while, there was a pitching change as well. 77 pitches right now. Look who's here. Leo's here.
Big Yankee fan, apparently.
I told you it was a big game, right?
One and 2, the count on Hicks. By Yankee standards, the last 4 years, just one wild card, one playoff game, and they didn't win it. I mean, by Yankee standards, that's quite a valley. They're hoping they're heading up the other side of the mountain towards a peak. Great young players like Judge and Sanchez and so forth. And again, because they have played well this year, they went out and bolstered the lineup, made a number of trades. This ball's lined hard to right center field and down for a base hit. A man on for Aaron Judge. And you know what that means in the Judge's chambers here at Yankee Stadium.
All rise. You know, and for those that love the Yankee-Red Sox rivalry, it feels like it's starting to potentially enter an exciting time with the young star nucleus now emerging on both sides. It looks like it could be entering that, you know, that back and forth, battling for the division.
Especially the next 3 weeks, as many times as they face each other.
Next week at Fenway, Labor Day weekend here in the Bronx, and then they're done with one another after that.
And not really that angst between these two teams right now that has existed at different times, but that's always just one little incident away.
Well, you played in it at one of its historic peaks, 2003. And then you didn't play, but obviously that continued on to 2004. Those 2 years probably in the last, however many years you want to count, those 2 years were the peak, right?
Yeah, I mean,
top.
The intensity, obviously the amount of great players on both sides. I think a genuine kind of dislike for the other side. I don't think that dislike quite exists right now, but now all of a sudden you got two emerging teams that look like they're on their way to being good for a long time, and they're both chasing that same thing, and that's the title. As we get a look at that swing, just a little bit late, just a little bit beat, and again coming back to that timing just not quite being where it was the first half of the season.
And Sale strikes him out for the second time tonight.
And again, fastball up in the zones. What he struck him out on the at-bat prior to this one. And this is a pitch, you guys, that this one out of the zone, he just didn't swing at the first half of the season.
But he's a little bit late getting himself into position. And look, Chris Sale's going to do this to a lot of guys, but I would argue that he's a little bit late getting into that strong hitting position, so you don't recognize the ball as well as you do when you're going well, and you're a little late on fastballs, and we've seen him out in front of off-speed pitches.
Sale facing Sanchez, a strikeout and a base hit. Hicks the runner at first, pretty good speed, one out in the inning, and we're tied at one at the bottom of the sixth. For a strike, 2-1. Todd Frazier waiting on deck. And another pitch in for a strike, 2-2.
And that's a great example
of
backdooring the slider. I mean, to be able to take this pitch and watch it go around the plate. So you think about where he releases it. It looks like it's coming out of the other batter's box. Ball, 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 strike.
And it's the ability, though, to throw any of his pitches, regardless of the count.
And a swing and a miss and a high fastball for strikeout number 9.
And all of a sudden you're Gary Sanchez and you see him willing to throw you a 2-1 slider. So you know anything's possible, and then you're thinking, okay, I've got to see the ball up, especially if it's that slider, if he's willing to come back with it. But then he goes to his strength, which, as you highlighted earlier, nobody strikes out more people with that four-seam fastball. This one way up and out of the zone. But again, that slider just plays up that fastball up even more and makes you more inclined to chase it, because you know you got to see the breaking ball started in an elevated state.
Steven Souza Jr. told me that Sale's breaking ball from the perspective of a right-handed hitter is very odd, because it comes out of his hand and the initial hump on it is slow, and then he said it picks up momentum as it gets to the plate. And he knows that that's not really possible, but that's how it looks.
So he's acknowledging it's an optical illusion. But as tough a guy to hit as there is in baseball. 9 strikeouts tonight. Another Chris Sale set of numbers here. He's now got 238 strikeouts, 30 walks. This could be, in all likelihood will be, unless he walks 20 guys the rest of the way, it could be his 5th straight season finishing with 200 or more strikeouts and fewer than 50 walks. No one has ever done that. Roy Halladay did it 4 times. Nobody's ever done it 5 straight years.
And Sandy Leon, I was talking to him yesterday, and he's like, I faced him as a hitter, but he's like, imagine catching him. I get behind the plate, and he's like, first of all, there's the stuff, the deception. He's like, but within his pitches, you take his slider, there's an 8 to 9 mile an hour difference. He will manipulate that pitch alone. He's like, that's like 2 different pitches, and I don't know what's coming. Same with his fastball, 91 to 98 with life.
Runner goes. Throw down, hits the runner. And Hicks diving back in safely. Very fortunate to get back in just ahead of Bogaerts getting there.
Well, with 2 outs and 2 strikes, why not push the envelope and try and get yourself into scoring position and maybe steal a run? And it's another decent pitch to handle for Leon, but the ball just kind of sails on him. The Red Sox almost catch a break as that ball bounces right to Xander Bogaerts, and as you can see, Aaron Hicks just barely able to get back into the base. Swimming, diving, breaststroke, we got it all going on out there.
And keeping his fingertips on the bag after Xander tags him.
So runner at second, 2 down, 1 and 2. The count on Frazier. Got him. Frazier thought it was inside, called a strike, number 10 on the night for Sale. The 16th time this season he's had 10 or more strikeouts in a game.
I needed something more to help control my type 2 diabetes.
My A1C wasn't where it needed to be. So I liked when my doctor told me that I may reach my blood sugar and A1C goals by activating what's within me with once weekly Trulicity.
Trulicity is not insulin. It helps activate my body to do what it's supposed to do, release its own insulin.
I take it once a week and it works 24/7. It comes in an easy-to-use pen, and I may even lose a little weight.
Trulicity is a once-weekly injectable prescription medicine to improve blood sugar in adults with type 2 diabetes when used with diet and exercise. Trulicity is not insulin. It should not be the first medicine to treat diabetes or for people with type 1 diabetes or diabetic ketoacidosis. Do not take Trulicity if you or a family member has had medullary thyroid cancer, if you've had multiple endocrine neoplasia syndrome type 2, or if you are allergic to Trulicity. Stop Trulicity and call your doctor right away if you have a lump or swelling in your neck, severe pain in your stomach, or symptoms such as itching, rash, or trouble breathing. Serious side effects may include pancreatitis, which can be fatal. Taking Trulicity with a sulfonylurea or insulin increases your risk for low blood sugar. Common side effects include nausea, diarrhea, vomiting, decreased appetite, and indigestion. Some side effects can lead to dehydration, which may make existing kidney problems worse.
Once weekly Trulicity may help me reach my blood sugar goals. With Trulicity, I click to activate what's within me.
If you want help improving your A1C and blood sugar, activate your within. Ask your doctor about once weekly Trulicity.
What kind of things do you do for people like me, Ray?
What'd you do?
Do not trifle with me again.
Ray Donovan, new season only on Showtime. Start your free trial.
MLB.com at bat is your #1 mobile app for live baseball. Stay connected with a fully customizable experience. Get club-branded home screen icons and app features, as well as game day, live game video highlights, radio broadcasts, StatCast, news, and more. Download MLB.com at bat today. Top 7, tied at 1. And David Robertson back on the mound for the Yankees. Bottom third of the lineup for the Red Sox, beginning with second baseman Brock Holt. And Holtz had a good night, had a base hit in the second. Then he walked, took second on a very short wild pitch in the 5th inning. And that paid off huge because an out later he came to score on an RBI single by Jackie Bradley Jr. It's one of the key plays of the game, really, is Holt taking second base. And Robertson out in front 0-2. Nobody up in the Yankee pen as the inning begins. Robertson to face 3 batters last inning. Walked Ramirez, then struck out Young and got Bogarts to bounce into an inning-ending fielder's choice. And this is the blueprint for the Yankees. Hope the starter can keep them close, and it plays even more in October than it does over a long season. On the appeal, no swing, and then hope the bullpen can do kind of what the Royals bullpen has done in recent years and the Indians bullpen has done in recent years. In October, you've got fewer games, you've got more off days, and if you can have the best bullpen out there, a bullpen that can contend with anybody, you got a chance. If they get in, they're going to be dangerous.
Yeah, and if all their bullpen pieces are pitching the way they're capable of, it's as good a pen as I think that's been put together in some time. Now with Robertson obviously coming back, as we take a look at this breaking ball, he tried to get Holt to chase out of the zone for a couple pitches and ran that count back to even, and then just drops a beauty in and freezes Holt this time on the inside corner. But you know, Canely, the guy they also got from Chicago, he's had a phenomenal year, big-time strikeout. A guy like Chad Green has emerged this year. Adam Warren's having a great year. So to say it's deep, it might be an understatement. I mean, this is a team that if they get to the postseason in the Yankees, you know, there could be games that they win where their starter goes, 3 1/3, 4 innings, and then they can just run a guy out there 1 inning after the other. That's their blueprint for having a chance to win it in the playoffs this year.
So I know that you have some feelings on this, Jess. I want to hear how you feel as well. That the game is a little bit different in October than it is in the regular season because of the off days. The roster construction is a little bit different. Should that be the way it is, or should there be fewer off days in the postseason so that the teams who have constructed their roster the best way to win the regular season have those advantages going into the postseason?
Yeah, I wish there were fewer off days in the postseason, because now with the emphasis on bullpens, it's a different game in October. And I really believe that starting pitching is what most influences you winning a division championship. But once you get to the postseason with all those off days and the ability, if you have 3 or 4 or 5 high-end relievers, to be able to roll them out, knowing you have days off, knowing you can roll them out for multiple innings, it's a different ball game. And that's why if the Yankees get in, they have a real chance.
Well, and it also, you think about the best part of the game in the playoffs. You're talking about innings 7, 8, and 9. That's when you want to see the magic of an offense, of things being put together. And a lot of times it's shut down. And yeah, you'll still get the magic home run, things that'll happen, but the bullpens have gotten so good. And teams can pile up and utilize that bullpen in the postseason because of the off days, to where now you better score in the first 5 innings. Otherwise, you might not be hitting.
Here's a ball crushed to right field, but Judge is there to make the catch. Bradley retired, and that's the inning. 7th inning stretch at Yankee Stadium, tied at 1.
Are you being audited, and do you owe the IRS $10,000 or more in back taxes? Is the IRS threatening to take more of your money? Don't fight the IRS alone. The Tax Doctor is here to help you negotiate your tax bill and reduce your stress. If you owe $10,000 or more in back taxes, do not call the IRS alone. Call a Tax Doctor now for a tax emergency analysis.
Medical warning for hernia mesh patients. If you or someone you love had hernia surgery between 2010 and 2016, you may be entitled to significant financial compensation.
Call 800-495-1224.
Attention all users of the dangerous blood thinners Xarelto or Pradaxa. You may have been exposed to the serious risks caused by these medications. Call Guardian Legal Network now. There are time deadlines to file your claim. If we don't win, you pay nothing.
The grandest slam in the world. In the greatest city in the world. Collide. Only in New York. Don't miss out on the event of the summer, the 2017 U.S. Open. Get your tickets today.
I was made in the shadows of greatness, shaped by the hands of legacy, forged in the fires of racing. I've been challenged, tested, and proven. Whether it's on that track or off, the truth is, what you're made of is what you're made to do.
Infinity, empower the drive.
Sometimes, all it takes to reach your goal is a little assistance. Introducing new Total Body Stretch from Massage Envy. Professionally assisted stretching to help you get the results you can't achieve on your own. Total Body Stretch can help you become more flexible, more mobile, and improve your performance. Introducing new Total Body Stretch from Massage Envy. Get more out of your 7th inning stretch with the Stretto method. Massage Envy.
Sunday Night Baseball on ESPN from Yankee Stadium with Chris Sale on the mound for the Red Sox. Great catch by Aaron Hicks, the first play of the game, robbing Eduardo Nunez, and Chris Sale just doing his thing. 10 strikeouts tonight. He's gotten Aaron Judge twice. Mookie Betts could not make this play up against the fence and right. It went as a triple, scoring Headley for the only Yankee run of the night, and it is tied at 1 going to the bottom of the 7th as the Yankees get ready to come up. 1 run, 2 hits for the Red Sox, 1 run, 4 hits for the Yankees. Jordan Montgomery, a nice outing for the Yankees. Jackie Bradley Jr. has driven in the only run of the night for the Red Sox. Boston 4.5 up on the Yankees atop the division as this game began. More baseball coming your way on ESPN this week. It'll be the Yankees and Mets both tomorrow night here from Yankee Stadium, and then Wednesday night from Citi Field as they play 2 at this ballpark and then 2 at that ballpark. And then 1 week from tonight, the Cardinals and Pirates, the Little League Classic from Williamsport, Pennsylvania, going on at the same time as the Little League World Series is going on. So that'll be fun as we bring together the big leaguers and the little leaguers to share their experiences. And the National League Central, of course, is a tightly bunched affair right now. The Cubs won today, so they have moved a game ahead of the Cardinals, who until today had been extremely hot. Milwaukee has bounced back. They've won their last 2. Pittsburgh lost today, so it's the Cubs by 1 over the Cardinals, 2 over the Brewers, and 4 over the Pirates. Nice play by Ramirez. Sale covering 1 down.
Well, we've talked about the deception and the unique delivery of Chris Sale, but one of the reasons his command is so great is watch his head. Even though he's got so many moving parts, watch how he keeps his head very still, on direction, and very little movement from that head. And I think that's one of the things that allows him to have such great command with all those pitches. And tonight, the 16th game this season with 10 or more strikeouts, second only to the great Pedro Martinez.
Well, and Dan brought up, you know, his size, 6'6", 172 pounds, so being lanky. But also, you think about the strength, and just even watching what you pointed out, Booney, not just his head movement, but how strong he's got to be repeat all of that motion, to be redirected, going to the first base dugout, and then to redirected to home plate, pitch after pitch after pitch. So he might be a lanky guy at 172, to repeat that motion, especially here in the 7th inning, still is impressive.
And I think going back to, you know, what Dan talked about with the Mark Burley influence as well. I think he just gets into such a good rhythm and working quickly and just taking the thought out of it of I'm going to trust my catcher and just execute what he puts down. I think that too allows him to just command and pitch free and easy with great rhythm. And we've seen it all night so far tonight, as usual.
100 pitches on the night for Sale. Boston bullpen is quiet. One-two. Close, but no. Just inside for ball 2.
Well, it's a great pitch, a great take by Headley because he knows there's nothing he can do with that pitch. And then a good call on a close pitch by Laz Diaz.
Wow, look at the movement on that slider.
And here's the thing as a hitter that makes it so tough with Sale too is he doesn't get in so much of a pattern. So it's hard to really predict exactly what he's going to throw on this 3-2 pitch.
Slider hooked down the left field line, foul.
I mean, most pitchers, you get a feel or certainly a scouting report, you know, hey, in this certain count, you kind of know what's coming. With Sale, not so much. I mean, both the slider and the fastball are obviously such dynamic pitches, but so unpredictable in the willingness to throw them in any count.
Headley hits it hard, but a foul down the right side. Got it. Climbed the ladder for strikeout number 11.
Well, Headley's having a real nice at bat against him, spoiling a lot of pitches. You know, but he almost gets in what you hear swing mode, where you're swinging at a lot of pitches. You've got a lot of pitches covered, and then Sale and Leon decide to just cut loose with a fastball. It's up and out of the zone, but Headley protecting and kind of in that swing mode, just unable to lay off that pitch that's been so successful for Sale tonight.
It's got that extra gear, and that, you know, that's why he leads the majors in four-seam fastball strikeouts, but it's also why we've seen so much tonight and good hitters that have been able to foul off pitches that swing at that because it looks good, and it almost looks like it gets that rise action, which we know isn't possible, but the way that he has that extra gear, that's what allows him to have so much success on that four-seamer.
If you were to take his starts and just say, okay, what's a typical start? So divide all the numbers by 23. He's made 23 starts. Typical start for Sale this year: 7 innings, 5 hits, 1 walk, 10 strikeouts. That's an average start for Chris Sale this season, in a year where there's a ton of offense and more home runs being hit than ever before.
So just kind of a ho-hum out, I guess, what he's having right now.
Yeah.
Well, I'm interested to see how this continues. We've talked about his ERA has gotten worse throughout his career as the season progresses. He's always been phenomenal early on, and now we're getting to those months, August, September.
Well, and these last 2 at-bats here by Headley, even though he struck out and was able to work the count so much and make Sale throw a lot of pitches to finish him off. And now that walk, this now could be his last inning, as he's going to go over 110 pitches here with Romine, who's had back-to-back quality at-bats.
One of the game going on, the second game of the doubleheader between the Giants and Nationals, and they're playing deep into the night. Giants won the opening game this afternoon, and they're now in the 11th in the nightcap, tied at 2. Austin Romine, the batter, credited with a triple, driving in the only Yankee run of the night back in the 5th.
Cody, you mentioned them working the count against Sale. Headley, the Yankees had 25 foul balls tonight against Headley among those 111 pitches.
And maybe now that last at bat by Headley, and then the losing to Reyes, and now that first slider doesn't really do much up and away. Maybe we're starting to finally see a little bit of fatigue now, as Sale probably nears the end of his night now at 112 pitches.
And Matt Barnes on cue up in the bullpen. 118 pitches against the Yankees on the 15th of July, the most that Sale has thrown in a game this year. .94 on the fastball. He's been mostly 96 to 98 with the four-seamer tonight, but still had plenty on that to get it by Romine.
just cutting loose at the top of the strike zone. And I would think he probably knows he's nearing the end. I'm sure he's aware somewhat of that pitch count. He might go one more time with that great fastball. Just cut loose at the top of the zone. See if you can't get that chase.
One, two. Got it. 99. If it was his last pitch of the night, it was also his hardest pitch of the night, as he picks up strikeout number 12 to end the 7th.
Ready, Tim?
Let's do this.
You're across traffic alert.
Was that Mike?
That's blind spot warning.
And that's Harry. The car stopped for me.
Automatic emergency braking.
It's car buying season at Nissan's Bottom Line sales event. Lease the Rogue family, starting at just $159 per month.
Bottom line, they still can't touch you.
I'll take it.
Liberty Mutual stood with me when this guy got a flat tire in the middle of the night, so he got home safe.
Yeah, my dad says their insurance doesn't have that.
What? You can leave worry behind when Liberty stands with you. Liberty Mutual Insurance.
As a mother of 3, I've seen the positive impact sports have on kids. At Dick's Sporting Goods, we believe everyone should have the chance to play. And if cost ever gets in the way, that goes against everything we believe. So we're stocking new gear at lower prices and introducing the best price guarantee. If you find a lower price from a competitor, we'll match it. Because it's not enough to offer you the best gear. We need to offer it at the best price.
At AutoZone, we test batteries, starters, and alternators for free.
I got a bad battery or alternator. I'm not really sure. Hey.
Well, luckily we test all that for free.
Do you need an extra helper? This one's free, right here.
Let's get you what you need.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
It's that time. The time when every swing matters. The time when every step, every throw, every slide might mean the difference between making history and going home. As the countdown to October begins, MLB Network will keep up with every second of the pennant chase. Because the time is now.
Sunday Night Baseball on ESPN is presented by Taco Bell's new $1 beefy potato-rito. Carl Willis, the pitching coach, John Farrell, the manager, moments ago in a conversation with one another. Is Sale done, or will Sale continue? Willis to the phone. You can see Sale still sitting in the dugout, and nobody's throwing right now.
The one thing, remember, Brett Gardner, a lefty, will lead off the 8th inning for the Yankees, so it is conceivable that he could go out there for one more hitter, but I don't see him going much more than that. In fact, and indeed his night could be over.
Meanwhile, Dellin Betances now into the game for the Yankees.
Well, another phenomenal season for Betances. Remember, around the All-Star break, he had some issues with his control, but on balance, in 42 innings, 75 strikeouts, one of the real weapons at the back end of the bullpen in Major League Baseball. Fastball you'll see in the upper 90s typically, and more often than not, he'll go to the slider. Low mid 80s with that pitch. And from that large, awesome frame, just a towering, intimidating presence out there for the Yankees.
Way outside, 2 balls and a strike on Eduardo Nunez, and it looks like he's done. So it took a while to make it official, but some hugs and handshakes. 7 terrific innings, and again, in all likelihood, what should have been 7 shutout innings had Betts been able to make the play at the wall and right. Not too bad.
And I think obviously you don't see Sale having any issue with the decision. I think he probably understands he emptied the tank at the end of that 7th inning, losing a little bit of command, and then we saw probably his best fastball at 99 miles an hour, knowing that, all right, I'm emptying the gas tank right here, finishing off Romine to finish off the 7th.
2-2. And Nunez chases a ball 2 feet above the zone for out number 1.
Well, the prior pitch, he chased a breaking ball just off the plate, down and away. So much like we saw with Gary Sanchez earlier, he knows he's got to make sure he gets the breaking ball up in the strike zone if he's going to go after it, because if it's down, it's going to end up a chase pitch down in the dirt. So he sees it out of his hand, doesn't recognize fastball, and it looks like a bad pitch he chased, which it was, but the breaking ball before that sets that up.
101-mile-an-hour fastball to get Nunez. Now it's 0-1 on Betts. And a ground ball down to third. Frazier, 2 down. MLB.TV every night, every device. Watch every out-of-market regular season game live. Plus, get a free subscription to At-Bat Premium, the #1 app for live baseball. Blackout and other restrictions apply. Visit MLB.TV for details. Matt Barnes will take over for Chris Sale. Tied at 1, 8th inning. Big game feel. Top 2 teams in the American League East separated by 4.5 games. And the Yankees in the first wild card spot in the American League, with just about everybody else right on their heels. 8 teams within 4 games of the Yankees. Angels currently hold the second wild card spot. Andrew Benintendi, the batter, he's 0 for 2 with a walk. Angels with a big win today. They beat Seattle 4-2 in a game of 2 teams competing for that wild card spot. Currently that second spot. Dustin Pedroia on the DL with a bad knee, looking on from the Red Sox dugout.
It'll be interesting to see now that they've fallen behind Benintendi here. It feels like the way Girardi's managed this, and obviously the way Benintendi's swinging the bat, that he's the guy right now that they probably fear the most. The way he's swinging it. A good breaking ball there to even the count.
Bouncer to the right side. The Tansis covers in time, and that's the inning. We will go to the bottom of the 8th, top of the order for the Yankees in a tie game.
Important message for hernia mesh patients. If you or a loved one had hernia surgery between 2010 and 2016 and experienced serious complications, call Guardian Legal Network. You may be entitled to financial compensation. Physio-mesh complications include infection, mesh migration, chronic pain, and a reopening of the hernia. Call to speak to an experienced lawyer now. If you don't win, you pay nothing.
Call 800-431-4916.
Medical warning for hernia mesh patients. If you or someone you love had hernia surgery between 2010 and 2016, you may be entitled to significant financial compensation.
Call 800-495-1224.
Are you being audited and do you owe the IRS $10,000 or more in back taxes? Is the IRS threatening to take more of your money? Don't fight the IRS alone. The Tax Doctor is here to help you negotiate your tax bill and reduce your stress. If you owe $10,000 or more in back taxes, do not call the IRS alone. Call a Tax Doctor now for a tax emergency analysis.
Is that Marcy? Why does she look so great?
Oh, I just signed her up for the Fuel Rewards program, and she got instant gold status. Here, check it out.
Oh, wow.
Get rewarded at Shell with instant gold status when you join now at fuelrewards.com/gold or download the app.
Hi, Marcy.
Touching hands, reaching out, touching me, touching you. Sweet Caroline, good times never seem so good. So good! So good!
Make your commute a little sweeter in the newly redesigned Hyundai Sonata, our best Sonata ever.
Start your league at ESPN.com/GoodFantasy.
This copyrighted telecast is presented by authority of the Office of the Commissioner of Baseball and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without express written consent.
Every big leaguer's road to the majors started somewhere. Live from Williamsport for the first time, major leaguers will share the stage with the Little League World Series. Sunday Night Baseball 1 week from tonight. The Cardinals and the Pirates live from BB&T Ballpark at historic Bowman Field in Williamsport. 1 week from tonight, 7 o'clock Eastern Time. Note the different start time. Coverage begins at 6 with baseball tonight.
Can't wait.
I just love seeing all the pictures of the guys when they played to now.
Yep. Although we got a good one right now here. Classic Red Sox Yankees, as now we see the Boston bullpen, which has been statistically the best in the American League. Matt Barnes, a big part of that. Look at the strikeouts to walk ratio, the whip, very good. Walks at times have been a little bit of an issue, but mid-90s fastball, curveball, and slider as Aroldis Chapman gets up now in the Yankees pen.
Lots of energy at Yankee Stadium as we go to the bottom of the 8th. Brett Gardner takes high ball 1.
One thing Barnes has done a real nice job of this year, in 56 innings, just 3 home runs allowed. So a power arm and a guy that's done a good job of keeping the ball in the ballpark.
High again.
The one thing for a guy that at times the command can be a little bit of an issue, you know Brett Gardner is going to make him work and make him come into the strike zone.
Lined hard but foul down the left side. Gardner 0 for 3 with a couple of strikeouts against Sale, who struck out 12 in 7 innings. Top of the order for the Yankees here in the bottom of the 8th. Aaron Hicks on deck. And then Aaron Judge. A grounder to second. 1 down.
We talked a lot about Chris Sale and the night that he's had tonight, but one of the hardest pitches in baseball is the repeat pitch, and we've seen it do it time and time again tonight with his fastball, elevating it up in the zone. Him and Leon read the reactions of hitters, and when they're late, they come right back with the same pitch, but a little bit further up in the zone, and that's how he's gotten a bulk of his strikeouts tonight. That's how he's gotten a ton of strikeouts throughout the season. That 4-seam fastball, but it's all about the read that they get on the pitch before to come right back with it, repeat it to get the strikeout.
Aaron Hicks, the batter, 1 for 3, had a base hit his last time up. And Barnes will fall behind again. So Chapman will be coming on one way or another for the Yankees when the Red Sox come up at the top of the 9th. He walked the bases loaded before surviving the inning on Friday in an eventual 5-4 win for the Yankees. Ball 2. And a fastball misses outside. It runs to 3-0 on Hicks.
And I would not be surprised if they put this in Hicks' hand. If he feels like he's got a bead on Barnes and wants to swing with that short right field porch, I think they'll let him. Oof. And I think he took it all the way. He wound up like he was going to let it rip and got a pitch right down the middle.
Three and one. Had a rip at it, fouled it back. 3-2. They have gone final in Washington in the second game of the doubleheader. The Nationals beating the Giants 6-2 on a grand slam. Bottom of the 11th inning. Howie Kendrick with a grand slam to win it.
If you're Hicks right now, 3 curveballs that Barnes has thrown this inning, not close to the zone. I think you stay selling out on the fastball.
Curveball, but it missed inside. And the potential go-ahead run is on with a 1 out in the 8th inning.
And Barnes showing you some confidence that he could still flip that in for a strike, but a good job there by Hicks of laying off as it does just stay inside just a bit, setting the stage now for Judge.
A walk and a couple of strikeouts tonight for Aaron Judge. Base hit into right field. Hicks up to second.
Well, I think they wanted to go further up in the zone with this fastball to start off Aaron Judge. Remember, the last 2 strikeouts he had were on elevated fastballs, but you see where this pitch stays right in the heart of the plate, middle of the zone, middle of the body. Aaron Judge just does a nice job. Still a little bit late, but the power plus the pitch gets it in for a hit.
But a good job, I think, of going to school on the inning and seeing that Barnes has not been able to throw his breaking ball for a strike yet, so he gets aggressive with the fastball early, drives it, and a good job by Mookie Betts there with pretty good speed at first base with Hicks there of getting to that ball quickly, and with 1 out, keeping Hicks at second, keeping the double play in order, and still now forcing the Yankees to have to get a hit at this point to score the run.
And you saw the left-hander Robbie Scott getting loose in a hurry right now for the Red Sox. Left-hand hitting Didi Gregorius is 2 batters away. This is Gary Sanchez DHing tonight. He's 1 for 3. Curveball does not get the call.
Well, K-zone had it catching the strike zone at the bottom and on the outside corner. That's the best breaking ball Barnes has thrown in the inning. But net result is 5 out of the zone. You see Sandy Leon asking Laz Diaz, where was that? But if you're Sanchez here, it's time to just sell out on that heater. Make him show you he can throw the breaking ball in there for a strike.
Two balls, no strikes. Third batter among the 4 that Barnes has fallen behind 2-0. The other one, Judge, hit the first pitch he saw for a base hit.
That's the first slider we've seen from Barnes. That one not close. Again, if you're a Yankee right now, ignore the off speed. Make him throw you a fastball.
Big moment for Gary Sanchez. Up and in, not close, and it's 3-0. And Xander Bogaerts is going to come in and try to settle down Barnes a bit. Todd Frazier waiting on deck. The Yankees trying to take the lead here in the bottom of the 8th. Each team with a run in the 5th. That is all the offense tonight. And it's a big game given the standings. Boston 4.5 up on New York. Walked him. The bases are loaded. Well, we have a moment. Don't forget, after we're done here, you can wrap up your weekend with Sports Center at night with John Buccigross and John Anderson. They'll have all the highlights for the final round of the PGA Championship, NFL preseason action, the best from the majors, and everything else you need to know. Sports Center at night next on ESPN, and also streaming live on the ESPN app. One more batter for Barnes. Right hand hitting Todd Frazier. Due up, Carl Willis out to the mound.
Well, now Frazier, of course, just looking for something that he can get out over the plate and elevate in the air. Good speed and Hicks at third base. So a medium fly ball should be enough to score that go-ahead run.
And this is where Frazier thrives. You know, his average might be low. He's someone, though, that when you see him with runners in scoring position in these type of games, these are the moments that he comes through.
And if you're Frazier, you've also seen Barnes not yet throw one breaking ball for a strike. So put that pitch on the back burner. If he hangs one, he hangs one. That's one thing. But you want to ignore. They might try and crowd you with the fastball to try and tie you up on your hands to get some lazy contact or an easy pop-up. But you're looking fastball out over the plate to try and just get something in the air.
Missing badly. Ball 1. John Farrell doesn't want to go to the lefty until the left-handed hitter comes up next.
And I'm surprised, because at this point, when you know that the breaking ball is out and there's one pitch and it's a fastball that these hitters are sitting on, there's too many good arms in that bullpen, especially with the bases loaded right now in this Yankees lineup.
Well, and even with that one pitch, really struggling for his command. Having trouble throwing anything for a strike. Slider at 91, and it's fouled off 1-1.
Well, and he executed, and Frazier sees this out of the hand as a fastball. It's 91 miles an hour, just a little cut action on it. And Frazier seeing that as a heater, just a little quick and a little too much in a pull position there. Again, one out. You want to get something you can elevate in the middle of the field or even the other way.
Barnes has walked 2 in the inning. The bases are loaded with 1 out, and the Yankees are looking to take the lead. Slider for a strike, 2-2.
Well, when the chips have been down here, Barnes struggling with that command. He's executed 2 really nice sliders when he's been behind in the count with no margin for error to get to that 2-strike count. Now that's something that Frazier has to at least respect.
Fastball up and in, and a full count. And Leon to the mound.
Well, I think within this at bat, he sprayed the fastball around, and the slider's been the 2 pitches he's executed. I think if you're Frazier, you got to feel like in the back of your mind, that's probably the pitch he wants to come with.
And hope you can react to a fastball if you get one?
Yeah, and I think that's a situation where, because it's 90 miles an hour, it's hard. You almost look for it and trust that you can react to more velocity.
Fastball line to center field. Bradley the catch. Hicks will tag. He'll come in to score, and the Yankees have the lead.
Well, I think he did think that slider was coming and was probably looking for it. But what was so impressive was he handles the mid-90s fastball in the center of the plate, probably looking for that slider because his swing is so short, and he knew what his goal was. Elevated through the middle of the field, he hits a bullet, and they knock Barnes out of there with the lead.
Left-hander Robbie Scott up next. The Yankees are up 2.
We asked premium vehicle owners to judge 3 premium SUVs, not knowing the brands.
Nice and responsive.
The leather, the material, feels very well crafted.
This one is by far my favorite. I really like the bold lines.
Mazda. I did not expect that.
This is the one that I would want to drive every day.
Discover a smarter premium at the Driver's Choice event.
Get 0% limited term financing plus no payments for 90 days on new 2017 Mazda SUVs.
What kind of things do you do for people like me, Ray?
Who are you running from that night?
It's tricky.
Your problem is Ray's problem.
He can be dangerous when someone doesn't give him what he wants.
You ever fall in love with a client?
What'd you do? Do not trifle with me again.
Ray Donovan, new season only on Showtime. Start your free trial.
Hi. When you clock out, I'll clock in, sensing and automatically adjusting to your every move. There. I can even warm these. Does your bed do that? I'm the new Sleep Number 360 smart bed. Let's meet at a Sleep Number store.
The best car deals don't just appear at the drop of a hat. Unless you're saving cars on AutoTrader, and drop your hat. The best way to save on the car you like is to save the cars you like. AutoTrader, the only car search engine driven by you.
The Yankees have taken the lead here in the bottom of the 8th inning. They lead 2-1 right now. Here's how it happened. After Matt Barnes got the first out of the inning, he walked Aaron Hicks. Aaron Judge lined one into right for a base hit. Gary Sanchez walked to load the bases. And then on a full count pitch, Todd Frazier lined one to center for a sacrifice fly. Hicks scores, Judge to third, 2-1 Yankees. So Frazier did his job, and the new pitcher now for the Red Sox, left-hander Robbie Scott.
Well, Robbie Scott with that unique delivery on for the 43rd time. Real solid whip. Probably on maybe for just one hitter here if he can retire Gregorius. He has been outstanding against left-handers this year. Lefties hitting just 128 against them. You see a fastball, slider, curveball, an occasional change, probably not the change to the lefty though.
Didi Gregorius is 0 for 3. And Aroldis Chapman continues to get loose. Now he knows it'll be with a lead. He was coming in one way or another, but he'll be coming in with a lead. The only question is how much. Oh, and 2 in a hurry on Gregorius.
You see back-to-back heaters there at 88 miles an hour, but that unique delivery by Gregorius.
And he got him on 3 pitches. That will end the inning, but the Yankees have taken the lead. Hanley Ramirez is going to lead off the 9th for Boston, and Aroldis Chapman is on his way in from the pen.
Jenny is breaking up with Jason. It's pretty uncomfortable. Jason's filling the void with seasoned beef, hearty potatoes, and warm nacho cheese sauce, bringing some comfort to a very uncomfortable situation.
You are making this uncomfortable, Todd.
How's that feel, Jenny?
Not good.
Not good.
Taste the comfort with the new $1 Beefy Potato Rito. Only at Taco Bell.
Hey Siri, set a timer for 10 minutes.
Okay, 10 minutes and counting.
Je sens ce que the rock nous mijote. Everything does sound better in French. Give me some, chef.
Place where Serta's cool to the touch memory foam helps cradle every curve. The all-new Serta Eye Comfort Temp Touch Mattress Collection. Experience it only at Mattress Firm, home of the Love Your Mattress guarantee.
Any last words?
Karma, Danny. Karma!
Progress is seizing the moment. Your summer moment awaits you now that the Summer of Audi sales event is here. Audi will cover your first month's lease payment on select models during the Summer of Audi sales event.
America's top critics are raving about the best thriller of the year. It's gripping, stunning.
Oh my God.
It will leave you breathless.
Out here. You cannot blink. Not ever.
Wind River, rated R.
The Little League World Series begins Thursday, August 17th on the networks of ESPN.
The Yankees will take a 2-1 lead to the top of the 9th inning against the Red Sox, trying to win the series and move within 3.5 of Boston for top spot in the American League East. Weekdays on ESPN2 at 4 Eastern Time, it's Intentional Talk with Chris Rose and Kevin Millar. A 1-hour breakdown of baseball's hottest topics. You can also see it streaming live on the ESPN app. Save situation for the Yankees, and that means Aroldis Chapman.
Well, not having as dominant a year as we're used to seeing from Aroldis Chapman, but still very strong. 45 strikeouts and just over 32 innings of work. Really struggled here on Friday in the victory, and still does it with that 100-mile-an-hour fastball, slider, and change. The one thing he's done well this year in those 32 1/3 innings of work, no home runs allowed. So despite some of the struggles, he's kept the ball in the ballpark.
Hanley Ramirez will lead it off, and look at a fastball at 101 in for a strike.
Ramirez 0 for 6 with 3 strikeouts in his career against Chapman.
What was that? Hanley talking to Austin Romine. It looked like Romine had a smile on his face, so it was probably good-natured, but it was unusual. Sometimes you'll see Chapman come in, and the first couple of fastballs are 96, 98, 99, and he dials it up into triple digits. Triple digits right out of the gate tonight.
Well, I think coming off of a rough outing, obviously Friday, there's hyper focus as he comes in tonight. And those first 2 pitches, the velocity yet, yes, Dan, but I think exactly where he wanted, at the top of the zone.
And he got him on 3 pitches as he hits 103.
A little staring down. Aroldis Chapman saying, here, you're getting my best heater. 1, 2, 3 at the top of the strike zone. Hanley Ramirez with another big swing, but can't catch up. And Chapman kind of walks a couple steps at him and stares down at Hanley Ramirez.
So 3 pitches, 1 out, and here's the rookie Rafael Devers. He gets his first look at Chapman. Devers came on as a pinch hitter for Chris Young back in the 6th and struck out.
What a difference from Friday night, as you mentioned, where he was wild all over the strike zone, especially early. Outside the strike zone. 4 straight strikes until that ball right there. But a different purpose. I agree, Booney. Coming out of the bullpen. Not only bringing heat, but right around that strike zone.
One and 2.
And you can tell he's feeling good tonight. We've seen him at times this season just struggle a little bit, again, by his standard, but tonight, so far, really on point with all his pitches, and what is a huge game in the middle of August.
Fly ball to deep left center field. Devers has hit it out. The rookie takes Chapman the other way to tie the game.
Wow. Well, at 20 years of age, we told you what a special hitter Rafael Devers is and is going to be. And after a couple of low 100 fastballs, I'm sure not having seen that from the left side ever before, he shows you that awesome power the other way and takes it out to the deepest part of Yankee Stadium.
I mean, we just saw an absolute rarity. A pitch coming in at 100 plus and going out at 100 plus. What a moment for that young man who's only got a couple of weeks in the big leagues. Xander Bogaerts.
Again, the first home run allowed by Aroldis Chapman this year, and it comes to a left-handed hitter
who's never seen him before.
Who's never seen him, 20 years of age.
On a 103-mile-an-hour pitch.
You can almost see the frustration and the disbelief in Chapman's eyes because, again, he's come in really, I think, pinpoint, on point, and throwing the ball extremely well tonight. And the kid gets him.
Now he gets Bogaerts 2 down.
Well, and for Devers, the first pitch, it was like he was collecting data to be able to see, well, what does this guy have? Well, it comes in 103 and not a bad location. It's elevated on the inner half, a tough pitch at 103 miles an hour even to get to, let alone get your barrel there. Well, it exits at 105, and Devers, just an excellent job within the at-bat of adjusting, and he's fired up, probably the biggest at-bat of his career.
Tied at 2 now in the 9th inning. A stunned crowd here at Yankee Stadium, especially given the way Chapman looked as soon as he got into the game, overwhelming Hanley Ramirez on 3 pitches. The batter is Brock Holt. Gregorius up with it and on to first to end the inning. But Boston has tied it. 20-year-old Rafael Devers with a home run off Aroldis Chapman. Chapman can't believe it. Devers takes him out to left center, tied at 2.
That's former All-Pro linebacker Clay Matthews Jr., also known as Dad. We Matthews know a thing or two about football. With PlayStation Vue, they can watch live football on up to 5 devices at the same time.
Nice.
Nice.
Nice. Nice!
Nice.
Great.
Stay connected with football all season long, no matter where you are.
Watch live football with PlayStation Vue. Start your free trial today.
PlayStation.
Ready, Tim?
Let's do this.
Rear cross traffic alert.
Was that Mike?
That's blind spot warning.
And that's Harry. The car stopped for me.
Automatic emergency braking.
It's car buying season at Nissan's Bottom Line sales event. Lease the Rogue family, starting at just $159 per month.
Bottom line, they still can't touch you.
I'll take it.
So I can get an extra 5% off all this?
Yep.
Right there.
5%. 5%.
The moment you realize you can save big, even on the small stuff.
With your Lowe's Advantage card, you get an extra 5% off every day on items big or small.
Hey, Bryce Harper, can we selfie?
Wait, how'd you get out here? Oh, don't worry, I've got T-Mobile. It's all unlimited, so I've got unlimited access to all things MLB. You sure about that? Yeah, hey, can I have the Pine Tar?
Check it out. Unlimited data meet unlimited grip. Hey, the guys need me in the bullpen. Sorry.
That's the dugout.
I know, yeah, totally.
We can't really give every fan access to the field, but we can give you America's best unlimited network, T-Mobile.
Apparently, the picture is worth 1,000 words. The award-winning 4K displays from Vizio.
Start your league at ESPN.com/GoodFantasy.
What a moment at the top of the ninth inning for Rafael Devers. Less than 2 weeks of big league experience. And Jesse turns around a 103-mile-an-hour fastball to tie the game.
But watch the swing. For a 20-year-old to be able to simplify, shorten, understand that at 103 miles an hour, you don't have to do a lot with your body. You just have to get the barrel. That's what he does. Really shortened that lower half. Got his barrel to that ball. 103 coming in. 105 going out.
You talked about him going to school, and after the first strike from Chapman, it's almost like he kind of shook his head like realizing, okay, I've got that. I understand what that velocity is.
It was like data collecting.
Exactly. I'm collecting data here, and the shortness and the quality of that swing to tie this game, really impressive.
So we go bottom nine. Chase Headley, the batter. The new pitcher for the Red Sox is Addison Reed.
Well, acquired from the Mets to bolster the back end of this already strong Red Sox pen. Look at just 7 walks, 52 strikeouts in just over 52 innings. Fastball, slider.
Had a rough one here on Friday, Reed did. Surrendering 4 runs in 2/3 of an inning. Devers, the first left-handed batter to homer off Chapman in 6 years.
And I think nothing wrong there for Chapman.
Yeah.
Again, I felt like he was throwing the ball as well as we've seen him. That was just a great swing on one pitch, ruining what was a strong outing.
And I wouldn't even say it was a mistake.
No.
I mean, it was elevated on the inner half. And when you think lefty on lefty at 103, how many guys are going to be able to get barrel to that? Not many. And so far this season, none, as far as Chapman giving up home runs.
Full count on Headley. Shift on for the Red Sox. Way high. And the winning run is aboard to lead off the bottom of the ninth.
Well, again, just the 8th walk, something that's very uncharacteristic for Addison Reed. The control usually excellent.
Craig Kimbrell in the Red Sox pen. The batter is Ronald Torreyes. Headley at first, nobody out in the bottom of the ninth. He shows bunt, pushes it to the right side to Ramirez, who feeds Holt, covering the sacrifice. Will move Headley to second. And it looks like Austin Romine may be getting called back. He's talking to Joe Girardi. Romine going down the stairs, and are we going to see Jacoby Ellsbury here? Yes, we are. Ellsbury's got a helmet on, and it looks like he'll come up to pinch hit for Romine.
Now you're obviously burning the DH as Gary Sanchez will have to go behind the plate if they don't score, but that's not on Girardi's mind right now. It's a couple of cracks now to drive in that run, now in scoring position.
Carl Willis, the pitching coach for the Red Sox, on his way to the mound. Reed picked up from the Mets at the deadline with the Red Sox. We mentioned he had a rough one here on Friday. Surrendered a home run to Hicks. Gave up 4 runs in 2/3 of an inning. The Yankees losing the lead at the top of the 9th inning when Devers homered off Chapman, and now trying to win it here in the bottom of the 9th. Big game for both teams, especially though you would say for the Yankees, because they are trailing Boston and because they've got so many teams right behind them in the wild card race. Off the bench comes Ellsbury. 6 for 21, a couple of homers in his career against Reed. Headley, the winning run, is out at second with 1 out. And now John Farrell's going to make a change. In the middle of this at bat, he's going to go to Craig Kimbrell. Wait a minute. Oh. Fielding Culbreth.
He started the hitter.
He wanted to make the move, but he's being told he can't make the move, is what it looked like.
Well, once he started the hitter after a visit to the mound, because Carl Willis went to the mound already.
It's got to make Reed feel good.
So after the visit, you have to finish the next batter. So Reed has to stay to face Ellsbury. And it looks like he's going to get an out of it. He'll get Ellsbury for the second out, and Headley will come to third. Now he's coming out, and he'll bring in Kimbrell to face Gardner. So we'll step aside. Kimbrell on his way in to face Gardner. Runner at third, 2 down, tie game, bottom of the 9th.
Jenny is breaking up with Jason. It's pretty uncomfortable. Jason's filling the void with seasoned beef, hearty potatoes, and warm nacho cheese sauce, bringing some comfort to a very uncomfortable situation.
You are making this uncomfortable, Todd.
How's that feel, Jenny?
Not good.
Not good. Taste the comfort with the new $1 Beefy Potato Rito, only at Taco Bell.
Any last words? Karma game. Karma!
Progress is seizing the moment. Your summer moment awaits you now that the Summer of Audi sales event is here. Audi will cover your first month's lease payment on select models during the Summer of Audi sales event.
What if we could stream live sports, our favorite shows and TV channels, with no annual contracts or surprise fees? What if we could watch live TV on our favorite devices? What if we could get the TV experience we always wanted? What if we never again had to ask, what if? TV has changed. It's time to change how we get it. This is PlayStation Vue. Start your free trial today.
PlayStation.
Disturbance reported near Heinz Field.
These are men with otherworldly talents. They stand against evil. We'll handle this. Their very presence brings hope to the faithful.
28 hours of fantasy football coming your way starting tomorrow night, 7 o'clock Eastern time on ESPN2. Meanwhile, here in the Bronx, tied at 2. And the only reason that we are in the bottom of the 9th in this one is because of what Rafael Devers did against Aroldis Chapman on a pitch that was 102.8 miles per hour and went out even faster than that. Went out at 105. The 20-year-old ties it with a home run. Now, with 2 down and the winning run at third in the bottom of the 9th, John Farrell's called upon Craig Kimbrell.
Well, one of the elite closers having a massive season again. 90 strikeouts to just 8 walks. Does it with a high 90s fastball and a wipeout curveball. Gardner 1 for 4 in his career against Kimbrell.
And a fastball just outside for ball 1.
One thing Kimbrell will do more this year than in the past is he will challenge with that fastball up in the strike zone more often than he has in the past. Yeah. And then work the breaking ball off of it.
2-0. Gardner 0 for 4 tonight. 46,610 here at Yankee Stadium tonight. At the knees, 2-1. And again, another pitch at the knees at 100. It's 2-2. Some serious velocity coming out of both bullpens tonight. Devers turned one around on Chapman. Gardner trying to bring Headley home with a winning run here against Kimbrell. Got him. Kimbrell with a big strikeout to send this game to extra innings.
Ready, Tim?
Let's do this.
You're across traffic alert.
Was that Mike?
That's blind spot warning.
And that's Harry. The car stopped for me.
Automatic emergency braking.
It's car buying season at Nissan's Bottom Line sales event. Lease the Rogue family, starting at just $159 per month.
Bottom line, they still can't touch you.
I'll take it.
Hey, Bryce Harper, quick selfie.
Wait, how'd you get out here? Oh, don't worry, I've got T-Mobile. It's all unlimited, so I've got unlimited access to all things MLB.
You sure about that?
Yeah, hey, can I have some of the Pine Tar?
Check it out. Unlimited data meet unlimited grip. Hey, the guys need me in the bullpen. Sorry.
That's the dugout.
I know, yeah, totally.
We can't really give every fan access to the field, but we can give you America's best unlimited network, T-Mobile.
Liberty Mutual stood with me when this guy got a flat tire in the middle of the night.
Hold on, Dad. Liberty did what?
Yeah, Liberty Mutual 24-hour roadside assistance helped him to fix his flat so he could get home safely.
My dad says our insurance doesn't have that. Don't worry, I know what a lug wrench is, Dad. Is this a lug wrench?
Maybe.
You can leave worry behind when Liberty stands with you. Liberty stands with you. Liberty Mutual Insurance.
It will be Todd Frazier. Hit deep for Frazier to left field. He's done it again.
Oh, yeah.
Hi, my name is Michael Conforto.
Here left field, way back. Conforto's got himself a dinger. Goodbye, home run.
That experience amplified my love for the game.
The Little League World Series begins in Williamsport this week, and we'll have our Sunday night game from Williamsport. The Cardinals and the Pirates, all kinds of interaction between the Little Leaguers and the Big Leaguers. Todd Frazier, a proud member of both fraternities. Meanwhile, extra innings here now in the Bronx. Aroldis Chapman is back on the mound for the Yankees as we go to the top of the 10th inning. And with the Yankees pinch hitting for Romine, they have lost their DH. Gary Sanchez started the game as the DH. He has now moved behind the plate.
And Chapman in with 2 lefties now. Moreland pinch hitting here, and Jackie Bradley Jr. on deck. So back-to-back lefties. Why Chapman staying on in this one? Hey! Through just 13 pitches in that 9th inning. And the first off-speed pitch we've seen from him, a slider to get ahead of Moreland.
Yeah.
ESPN's coverage of extra innings is brought to you by Serta, always comfortable. Chapman surrendering a home run to Rafael Devers in the top of the 9th inning, blowing the save, 4th blown save on the season. Yankees got a runner to 3rd, couldn't cash him in at the bottom of the 9th. Now we're into extra innings.
Pretty good swing there by Moreland, who got a bit of a mistake there with that 0-2 slider, stayed up. Fouled it off.
Oh, yeah.
And Tommy Kahnle is now up in the pen for the Yankees. Moreland gone.
Well, steady diet of sliders to Moreland, and after making a mistake on an 0-2 that he gets away with, he comes back and executes this one. Another one that you can see Moreland just bailing a little bit out in front of it as he locates it to the outer half to get the first out of the 10th inning.
So now Jackie Bradley Jr. 1 for 3, had an RBI single back in the 5th. 2-2 tie, extra innings, rubber match of a 3-game series. Top 2 teams in the division. And another slider in for a strike. It's 0-2.
Well, you look at that at 88 miles an hour, and these hitters have to cover and be prepared for 102, 103. So you think 14, 15 miles an hour difference and what he's able to bring between that slider and his fastball.
And he hit him. Hit him with a 101 mile an hour fastball on an 0-2 pitch.
Oh, slider, 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 and then just tries to climb the ladder with a fastball, but probably just overthrows it a little bit. And that just completely gets away from him. Now on his 20th pitch, and now back to the top of the order and the right-handed hitters for the Red Sox.
And Bradley probably fortunate. It looks like that one caught a bit of the arm or a bit of his elbow guard there, so that absorbed some of that velocity. Here's Eduardo Nunez, 0 for 4.
And you can run against Chapman. Obviously, Sanchez throws really well behind home plate. Chapman's allowed 6 stolen bases, though, and not a lot of innings. So if you pick the right pitch, very slow and deliberate to home.
Came into the game in the 9th with great velocity and initially great command. Struck out Hanley Ramirez on 3 pitches. All 3 pitches over 100 miles an hour. Just kept throwing fastballs, and Devers eventually turned one around.
Jackie Bradley Jr. with 6 stolen bases and 9 attempts over there.
As command is off here this inning. He's fallen behind 2-0 after hitting Bradley.
And you saw Sanchez, even on that last pitch, kind of jump, even though it wasn't too far out of the strike zone. Him recognizing it elevated a little bit, almost anticipating it being higher than it was.
And he goes to the slider for a strike, 2-1.
Well, with Canely up and ready, I wonder how much longer they'll go with Chapman here now at 23 pitches.
Do they want him to face Benintendi? That's 2 batters away still.
I think that's obvious, because I would have thought he might have been out of the game had he retired Bradley. But clearly we've seen Joe Girardi kind of with an eye and a thought of Benintendi, the way he's managed throughout this game.
3-1. Has not been as airtight this year as he generally has been over most of his career. Slider gets the call on the outside corner, full counts. 3 sliders in a row now to Nunez.
This pitch just off the plate away, but Laz Diaz says close enough. Pretty good job of catching that ball by Sanchez, but just off, they get the call. I don't think you'll see Jackie Bradley Jr. run here on the full count.
Not going. Ball 4 off the glove of Sanchez to the backstop. Bradley, though, will stop at second. So a hit batter and a walk in the inning, and Joe Girardi's coming out. That's going to be it for Chapman. He's pointed to the bullpen already. "26 pitches signals the end of the night after hitting a batter and walking a batter. Right-hander Tommy Canely, ex of the White Sox, will be coming on to face Mookie Betts.
Looking for adventure this summer?
Holy smokes.
Oh man, that's pretty intense. Look no further than Chevrolet.
This is a fast car. I feel like I left my soul back there.
Wow, this has power.
What a nice car.
Go for thrilling drives and deals today at the Chevy Summer Drive. Now through August 14th, get 20% below MSRP on all Chevy Malibu LT models. That's over $5,300 on this Chevy Malibu. Find new roads at your local Chevy dealer.
As a mother of 3, I've seen the positive impact sports have on kids. At Dick's Sporting Goods, we believe everyone should have the chance to play. And if cost ever gets in the way, that goes against everything we believe. So we're stocking new gear at lower prices and introducing the best price guarantee. If you find a lower price from a competitor, we'll match it. Because it's not enough to offer you the best gear. We need to offer it at the best price.
With so many projects in the works, it seems like Dwayne Johnson can't possibly take on any more.
Well, that sounds like a challenge. Hey Siri, give me a Lyft ride to LAX.
Mr. Nakamura can discuss your fashion line.
I'm out. Rock. Hey Siri, take a selfie.
More Major League action coming your way this week on ESPN. Tomorrow night, it'll be the Mets and Yankees right from here from the Bronx. And then Wednesday night, Yankees and Mets from Citi Field. They'll play 2 here and then 2 at the home of the Mets. And then 1 week from tonight, the Little League Classic, Cardinals and Pirates in conjunction with the Little League World Series. Note the start time, 7 o'clock Eastern time next Sunday. Aroldis Chapman, a tough night, gives up a home run in the 9th to tie it, hits a batter, walks a batter in the 10th, gets lifted after that. So 2 on, 1 out tie game. Leo's still here, hanging in into extra innings.
Chewing on those nails too.
Summertime, kids can stay up late, watch a game that goes into extra innings, and now they'll see another pitcher, another player that the Yankees picked up along with Frazier and Robertson from the White Sox at the deadline, right-hander Tommy Kahnle.
An embarrassment of riches in the back end of that bullpen. They just can march out hard thrower after hard thrower. It's been a dominant season for Kahnle. 73 strikeouts, just 8 walks, and 45 and a third. He does it with that high 90s fastball right there at 99. Changeup, and then he'll mix in a slider as well.
You know, the crazy thing, if you look at all the arms we've seen in this game, is that, like, Dellin Betances is like the 4th hardest thrower who's pitched in this game. Chris Sale is maybe the 5th hardest thrower who's pitched in this game. Granted, he's a starter, so apples and oranges. But Kahnle throwing 98, 99, Kimbrel 99, 100, and Chapman over 100 tonight.
Ronald Torreyes really working hard to keep Jackie Bradley close there at second base. Not only the potential of the steal with he and Nunez, but also just want to shorten that lead so that if there is a base hit, just making it a little more difficult for Bradley Jr. to get into that secondary and potentially score.
2-1. 3 balls and a strike. He has walked him and loaded the bases for Benintendi.
All the talk of the successful bullpens both this Yankees team and this Red Sox team have. You show the importance of a big game, adrenaline, your rival, and that importance of command that can be so hard yet so critical coming out of that pen.
And Kahnle now, for as dominant as he's been, he's done most of that dominating against right-handed hitters. Righties 160, lefties have hit 288 against him. And he's got one of the hottest lefties in the league at the plate right now with nowhere to put him in Andrew Benintendi.
The Red Sox, as you can see, the only in baseball without a grand slam this season. The bases are loaded with the 1 out. Tie game at the top of the 10th. Infield is in for the Yankees. Go ahead run at third, Jackie Bradley Jr.
There's that changeup, 91 miles an hour. That almost works like a split-fingered fastball. Interesting too. And this speaks to the Red Sox and their athleticism, Benintendi and his speed. The Yankees have to play that infield in.
Down and in.
Now, if the ball's hit extremely hard to say Torreyes is right or to Gregorius is left, then they can maybe think about turning a double play. But they've got to shorten up and ultimately think about a ground ball cutting down the run at home plate.
One and one the count. Three change-ups in a row, and he's fallen behind. 2 balls and a strike.
And a couple of them have been good changeups, and Benintendi, you can tell, seeing the ball extremely well, able to lay off those. That's got to be a little bit of a concern for Canely, who usually expects you to chase those good ones just down and out of the zone.
Lined into right field, a base hit. Bradley will come in to score. Everybody up a base. The Red Sox have the lead.
Well, what a big time at bat from Andrew Benintendi. Lays off 3 changeups, 1 down in the strike zone, but then 2 down and out of the strike zone. He gets another one. That one you can see hangs up, out over the plate, almost works like a bad 2-seam fastball that stays up around the belt. And a real simple, soft swing from a locked-in hitter breaks this tie in extra innings.
And the Red Sox dugout loving it. They were down 2-1 to go into the 9th before Devers tied it with a home run off Chapman. And now they've got the lead here in the 10th.
And you see right there, guys, why they wanted to keep Chapman in that game. But after Chapman walked Eduardo Nunez, they knew he was probably spent and had no choice but to go to the pen. But all the while, Girardi, fearing that matchup with a righty against Benintendi with the game on the line.
Now Hanley Ramirez. Big swing and a miss at a 99-mile-an-hour fastball. The Yankees playing it a little bit differently here right now, up the middle of the diamond with Gregorius and Torreyes. They're a little bit further back, thinking they can turn 2. Torreyes just came in to ask the second base umpire, Fielding Culbreth, to move a little bit so that he could have a clear view of the plate.
Yeah, any ball on the ground now, the Yankees infield, with the exception of if it goes to Headley at first, he'll probably come home with it. And unless the ball really takes the infielders in, then they might come home. But otherwise, even Frazier and up the middle, any ball hit firm, they'll look to turn the conventional double play with Ramirez running.
Oh, yeah. Guys, how about Andrew Benintendi in this series? 9 RBI.
Yep.
6 of them yesterday and a couple of 3-run homers.
He's arguably the hottest hitter in the month of August. Almost 500. The homers. Clutch of bat tonight.
And speaking of clutch, Devers, Rafael Devers, the rookie who homered off Chapman in the 9th. He's on deck right now, hoping for a shot this inning. Hanley Ramirez trying to extend the lead.
Well, you think about this series and the Yankees with that big comeback win in Game 1, and then Luis Severino, their ace, on the mound in yesterday's ball game, spotted to a 2-run lead. It was Benintendi, though, with a 3-run homer to get them rolling. Another 3-run homer that padded that lead. And now tonight, the go-ahead hit here.
Oh, 2 again. And Hanley just does get a piece.
Hanley just fouling off the pitch away. I wouldn't be surprised if they try to elevate. Ramirez has shortened a little bit his swing since the first pitch he took a hack at, but in kind of that swing mode. He's struggled with pitches up in the zone, though, tonight.
And not exactly where they wanted to locate it, but they get a swing and a miss regardless, and that's out number 2.
It looked like they went to the slider. We haven't seen a lot of sliders from Canely, but wanting to go down and away to try and get a chase. And you're right, this thing just kind of backs up. It doesn't do a whole lot, and sometimes that can really lock up a hitter. And Hanley kind of flinches at that pitch, then realizes it's going to be a hanger, but just kind of stays further inside than he thought.
Now Devers, who was the reason this game Didn't end in the top of the ninth. He tied it with a home run off Aroldis Chapman. Turned around a pitch that was almost 103 miles per hour.
Yeah.
And you know, with Hicks, Judge, and Sanchez due up in the bottom of the 10th for the Yankees, the Boston Red Sox would love one more big swing.
Oh, yeah.
Or even a walk from Rafael Devers to pad that lead for Kimbrel.
Big cut and a foul off, 2-1.
Dan, you mentioned that 103, actually 102.8 to be exact, the hardest hit pitch in the pitch tracking era since 2008. Ball that was crushed the first time he's faced Aroldis Chapman. Did an excellent job of adjusting within the at-bat to tie this game up.
Oh, yeah.
Hits it hard to left field. Caught by Gardner. Saving a couple of runs. But the Red Sox still have the lead. Great play on a rocket. Going to bottom 10, 3-2 Boston.
I was made in the shadows of greatness, shaped by the hands of legacy, forged in the fires of racing. I've been challenged, tested, and proven. Whether it's on that track or off, the truth is, what you're made of is what you're made to do.
Champagne and models, potpourri on my yacht made of Cuban mahogany. Watch this.
Don't get mad. Get E-Trade and get invested.
Maria is an incredible mom. When it comes to helping her daughter, shopping for groceries, unclogging the sink, setting up dentist appointments, and planning birthday parties, nobody does it better. She's also in a rock band. Look at her shred. But when it comes to mortgages, she's less confident. Fortunately for Maria, there's Rocket Mortgage by Quicken Loans. It's simple, so she can understand the details and be sure she's getting the right mortgage. Apply simply, understand fully, mortgage confidently.
After baseball, Jameis Winston talks. Justin Thomas has got a Wanamaker trophy. We have your top plays, and pay no attention to the man behind the curtain.
Going to the bottom of the 10th here in the Bronx. The Red Sox now have a 3-2 lead. Trying to steal one here in the Bronx. And a couple of changes, defensive changes for Boston. Mitch Moreland will remain in the game at first base. And Christian Vasquez is now behind the plate. Greg Kimbrel back on the mound. He struck out Brett Gardner to end the bottom of the 9th. And now he's on to face Hicks, Judge, and Sanchez here in the 10th. 2, 3, 4 in the Yankee lineup. Hicks tonight 1 for 3. He's also walked, scored a run. He's stolen a base. This came off the DL on Thursday. Missed about 6 weeks with an oblique injury. He is dangerous. He has some pop. Popped up. Who's going to get there? Nobody, but it drops foul. Good effort by Nunez and Bogarts, but to no avail.
On the hustle, where he started from, because he was shaded up the middle. Hopefully he's not hurt, because he's slow to get up. But just never gave up on it, because this ball was hanging for quite some time. And once he recognizes especially that it's going to be foul, just lays everything out.
one thing to consider right here is Craig Kimbrell, who has gone out for multiple innings before, and I know it was only one out that he recorded in the 9th. But with the pitching change in the top of the 10th within the inning, been sitting over there for a long time after getting it fired up. As a closer, that's not something that you're normally accustomed to.
Stays off speed and he misses outside. 2 balls and a strike.
3 breaking balls here to start Hicks. All of them just kind of spinning up there. Not that sharp, hard, nasty one that we're used to seeing from Kimbrell.
That's a fair ball. Nice play by Moreland. Close play at first. Kimbrell covering in time.
Another breaking ball there behind in the count. Not a lot of bite on this pitch. It just kind of spins in the zone, and Hicks gets a pretty good piece of it. But one of the reasons Mitch Moreland was brought in the offseason is because of his outstanding glove work at first base. See him get an outstanding break on that ball, smother it, then easily get to his feet and flip a perfect feed, one very easy to handle for Kimbrell over there covering first to get a big first out in this 10th inning. Gold Glover last year, looking like a Gold Glover, making that play look awfully easy down the line.
Now Aaron Judge, 1 for 3 with a walk tonight. The American League leader in home runs with 35. Judge 0 for 2 in his career against Kimbrell. One of them a strikeout. Comes up empty on the high heat. These two teams will meet again next weekend at Fenway Park. And then 2 weeks after that, back here again. Another high fastball, but this one too high to chase.
Well, he's seeing a heavy dose of that. Basically the second half of the season. Struggled against it. Once teams have pinpointed a weakness, they come right after it until he makes that adjustment. Has yet to do that. He struck out twice tonight on fastballs up in the zone.
Called strike over the outside edge, 1-2.
Well, K-Zone had it just off, but about as close as you could be to the outside corner, up in the strike zone, 99. And while they might try and get a chase on a breaking ball down and away, you know if this bat extends, they're going to eventually go back to the top of the zone. And that's the one he's got to be able to lay off. And the way you do that is by being on time. That's when you recognize it properly.
As Kimbrell stayed with a fastball. All 4 pitches have been to fastballs thus far to Judge. He does, and he gets him for out number 2.
Well, they want to go up and away with it. It leaks across over the heart of the plate. But again, at the top of the zone at 98 miles an hour, simply too much for Aaron Judge right now. And now it's down to Gary Sanchez. But you can just see just a little bit late on that pitch that was in the strike zone.
Last chance for the Yankees is Gary Sanchez. Sanchez, in his time in the big leagues against Kimbrell, is 0 for 3 with a couple of strikeouts. Sports Center comes your way next tonight here on ESPN. The Red Sox are an out away from victory after they trailed going to the 9th with Aroldis Chapman on the mound. Rafael Devers tied it with a home run. Andrew Benintendi gave the Red Sox the lead in the 10th with an RBI single. 0-2. And Kimbrel not messing around now. If Boston wins, they will be 5.5 ahead of the Yankees atop the standings in the American League East.
I think with Sanchez here, I go to the breaking ball. He would scare me a little more at the top of the strike zone with the fastball, and I think his discipline is to see it down.
Fastball, and he's late on it, fouls it off to the right.
But a pretty good swing on a pretty well executed pitch by Kimbrel. That was at the top of the strike zone, and he had a pretty good rip at it. See Vasquez calling for it up. Just a little bit late, but a pretty good pass on a 2-strike pitch by Sanchez. I think you go to the breaking ball and see if you can get him to chase one down and out of the zone.
The 1-2. Fouled off another one.
Well, the way that Craig Kimbrel got Brett Gardner out to end the ninth in that last out, he laced fastballs at the very bottom of the strike zone in this inning. He's been at the top of the strike zone with all batters. But after seeing so many at the top, if he could get one at the bottom, it'd be a tough pitch to hit for Sanchez.
The Yankees down to their final out. 1-2 again. Breaking ball grounded foul. Making Kimbrel earn it.
Now you got Sanchez thinking. He showed him the breaking ball there. He's aware of the high fastball. He shortened up his swing on that pitch. And that breaking ball hasn't been as sharp this inning. I think now that you've shown it to him and at least planted that seed, you probably go back to climbing the ladder with the heater.
Which he did, but he missed up and in. 2 balls and 2 strikes. If Sanchez can get on somehow and it continues, Todd Frazier would be next. 8th pitch of the at-bat upcoming. Outside, it's a full count.
Vasquez tapped the inside part with his glove to kind of try to fake Sanchez on that last pitch, and then they jumped away. Trying a bunch of things behind the plate.
I think it's cut loose with your best fastball at the top of the strike zone. And see who wins.
Looks like Kimbrel's going to win. A pop-up into shallow right field. Mookie Betts. And the Red Sox win it. Rafael Devers with the big homer in the 9th. Andrew Benintendi with the RBI single in the 10th. Kimbrel gets it done. And the Yankees lose 2 out of 3, and they fall 5.5 back of the Red Sox for top spot in the American League East. Good ball game tonight. Playoff feel to it. And who knows where these two teams will wind up about a month and a half from now. The Red Sox win 3-2. They take 2 out of 3 here in the Bronx. For Aaron Boone, Jessica Mendoza, Buster Olney, and our crew, I'm Dan Shulman saying so long from Yankee Stadium. Thanks for watching. SportsCenter is coming your way right now.
The lead is now 5 in the loss column in the American League East as Andrew Benintendi and the Red Sox take 2 out of 3 from the Yankees.